people not like to pay tax? Cause each year you must report and send money back, or get money back, yeah, it really depends. Did you overspend or underspend? Cause the government tracks how much money you get. If it's not enough, they'll send your money back. If you're getting too much, they want some more too. Yeah, there's so many things your money can do. And let me add one more piece of advice. Now I'll keep it vague and I'll keep it nice. There are many benefits, many codes. Lean into resources, take easier roads. Build up your business, invest in your strengths. Lean on resources, whatever it takes. You are powerful, your businesses are true. Let the world help you and you help it too. Tax, 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 tax. Don't be under attack. Keep up with your expenses and fill your tax. Oh, tax, 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 tax. Now it's time to relax, cause you're finally confident with filing taxes.
Meme, do you know what I mean? If I'm telling a joke, I might be using a meme and scene. Bum, 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 bum. Making a meme, it's easy as it seems, cause sometimes comments are better with the scene. Yeah, telling jokes, you've got the ropes, so step it up with the picture, you're the coach. Cause pictures are worth 100 words, they say. And saying things is not the only way to let the world know what you really and believe. Communicate with memes to achieve, cause people are awesome, the world is strong. We can be curious, kind all along, and jokes can brighten someone's day or shine some light on things that are so funny or that need some healing, right? So grab a pick and write a meme and make a joke today. Your voice, your heart, your intuition, words can guide the
Fools can't stop till they're in trouble. Inflating, diluting, ashamed, outdated and playing. They're playing a crooked game, but that bubble, it must pop, 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 and your GameStop, stop. Let it don't build back on top, as we boom our business to the top. Pop, 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 pop. Boom, 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 boom. La, 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 la. Ooh, that's a bubble.
Fools can't stop till they're in trouble.
Inflating, diluting, ashamed, outdated. They're playing a crooked game, the past gated. But that bubble, it must pop, 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 and your game stop. Let it pull back on top, 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 as we boom our business to the top. Pop, pop.
The stock price doesn't reflect the fundamentals. Their fundamentals justify the price. Short interest is manageable, retail sentiment waning. No evidence of manipulation. Tits are a malfunctioned. Meme stocks rally fizzles, ranked by top market makers. Liquidity concerns overblown. Naked shorts constantly deny. They'll settle eventually. Dark pools provide liquidity. Retail investor interest delayed. This stock doesn't trade like it used to. Trading curbs prevent overreaction. Market structure is misunderstood. Stock volatility unrelated to news. Retail sentiment will recover. Options expiration behind recent bounce. No irregular options activity found in audits. Short interest is manageable. 200 FTDs not indicative of pressure.
Share price divorce from fundamentals.
No real sentiment has changed. No real catalyst behind this move. These traders are just going on intuition. Whales might be accumulating at these levels. There are a lot of open questions. The meme crowd is finally bored. Conspiracy theories aren't a viable market thesis. Some investors believe this is healthy. It's a data point, not manipulation. Liquidity conditions remain unresolved. Retail is playing a losing game. Retail steps in again for now. Price action looks a lot like 21. The stock is moving like it did years ago. Sentiment is hard to gauge in this cycle. Clearly inflated, but is it sustainable? Retail abandoned during downturns. This would have happened anyway. Unusual optimism not yet explained. The price doesn't match the volume. Sudden surge in short covering. Volatility returns as SPY cools. Meme stock run was short-lived. Meme stock after a big earnings beat. Meme stock rally was overblown. Wall Street skeptical of rally. The company raises after winning court case. Meme stock is back again. Retail tracker blew up overnight. The stock is driven by online buzz. The stock is down 80%, but some still hold. Meme stock jumps 38% in pre-market. Retail fails to deliver again. Analysts cut target by 40%. Retail will capitulate. The stock jumped 16% after online buzz. Retail traders add more fuel to the fire.
Shorts are far more sophisticated.
Meme stock investors misled by influencers. This could be the last short squeeze. Why the meme stock rally is different this time. Cautionary tale for the investing world. to see here. Move along.
They said it's coming, they swore it's near, a rocket ship to the stratosphere. I check my phone, I check my screen. Is this a dream or a mean machine? Waiting for MOASS, still holding tight. Diamond hands shining in the night. Waiting for MOASS, no time for fear. When the moon's so close, it feels so near. The charts are wild, they're climbing steep, but the feud keeps creeping while I sleep. The brokers laugh, the suits they grin, but the apes all know we're gonna win. Huddle strong, huddle loud, we're a family, we're a crowd. Waiting for MOASS, still holding tight. Diamond hands shining in the night. Waiting for MOASS, no time for fear. When the moon's so close, it feels so near. They can short, they can lie, they can try, they can cry, but the ape inside just roars, breaking all their crooked doors.
Stockholding, share owning, share and care with shares financially. You're a share owner, stockholder. Money represents what you wanna see. Let's talk a little bit about the stock market. Learn to play this game. Been there before. 'Cause you wanna talk the talk, wanna talk about the stock. Invest efficiently. You bought a stock, a share you like a lot. You believe in the future of this company. Woo! Stockholding, share owning, share and care with shares financially. You're a share owner, stockholder. Money represents what you wanna see.
Jump in,
Are you willing to lose?
game begins.
The price you choose,
Money in,
wait and see. Keep score.
of what your trades can be.
Money goes in, buy a share.
That's a trade.
Money goes out, sell a share.
That's a trade.
Stockholders, share owning, share and care with shares financially. You're a share owner, stockholder. Money represents what you wanna see. Trades are not free, you buy it at a price. Too low, too high, well, you gotta think twice. Or 3 times, 4 times, 5, 6, 7, 8. When you like a stock, research is great. Quarterly reports are your new best friends. 4 times a year, sharing information. Cut costs, things can change and rearrange. And prices won't always stay the same. Stockholder, shareholder, goodness gracious, beholder. She's holding money in company she believes he's shareholding, stock owning, goodness gracious, behold him. He's using money to fund the value. Stockholder, shareholder, goodness gracious.
holder. She's holding money in company she believes he's shareholding. Stock owning, stock owning, come holding. Goodness gracious, we'll hold him. He's using money to money value.
Hello, everybody. Hope you can hear me okay. This is my second time using StreamYard, so first time you get away with some mistakes, second time you gotta, step it up and there on. So I'm so excited to see you guys, so excited to be back. Actually, even last time when we did this, I didn't even expect that we would make another one. I mean, I kind of did, but it definitely was not the plan originally to make this an ongoing series. So it's great to be here a second time. Happy St. Patrick's Day for those of you who celebrate. And, we've got a lot to talk about today. You guys will be really impressed. Have a PowerPoint for you, but not in a boring way, in an organized way. So, and speaking of not boring and organized, let's welcome up my guest and the co-host of this amazing talk. Oh, hold on. Actually, Deven just dropped out of right as I was about to bring him in, he just dropped out of this. So we will wait a minute. I'm sure. Oh yeah, there we go. Now he's back. And let's bring up Deven. Hey, Deven.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay. Right when I was announcing you dropped off the backstage.
Oh yeah, my bad on that one. The audio wasn't coming through, so I think I just had to reset it, but it's working now.
No good. For all of you hardcore fans of our show, you know that last time we're already off to a better start than last time, so we're nailing it. Oh, so good. All right. Well, Deven, are you excited to talk? Are you nervous? How you feeling?
I feel good. We can jump right into it if you want.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, so you guys, this is kind of fun. We're totally living in I would say we're living in the 2000s. I wouldn't say totally 2026 because there's a lot of amazing technology.
It's like the past and the future at the same time.
Yeah, and we probably could be doing way more if we were knowledgeable. I don't know. I'm not, at least. But we did collab on a PowerPoint. So that's pretty futuristic if you asked, someone 10 years ago. Okay, so I'm going to pull up our PowerPoint. But the only thing I'm going to admit is I think I need to make it full screen and then share my full screen. So give me a second. And then Deven, you're the one that put together most of this PowerPoint. So you can talk for a second. And also, I added some stuff in there, but I know you were saying maybe we'll jump around. And so maybe you can just talk to me and talk to everybody about what is this and what are we doing? And I don't know, give me a little direction too, while I figure this out.
Okay. Well, you did a lot of work on that too, which I appreciate. But, yeah, so I kind of just tried to organize a bunch of this information in a conversational flow, and then we'll take audience feedback and get through each part of this, how I put it together, and we can just go from there.
Amazing. Okay, so this is really stupid for me though, because it's a literal full screen on another screen for me. So I have to kind of go back and forth, but it won't be that stupid. But yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so basically Deven sent me all this random DD. That was really amazing. Because last time we had our, by the way, here's a behind the scenes talk for you guys. Last time we had our podcast, the goal was just to focus on one Reddit DD Deven had written. And now this time we have all of this stuff. It's so much stuff. And so we put it all in this little PowerPoint along with the promo images I made. And I really like this one, by the way. And, yeah, so this MOASS abduction is really amazing. So let's just go ahead and get started. By the way, if you guys, okay, last time I was so nervous. I didn't even check if anyone left comments. I was literally too nervous to look and see if anyone was writing anything. But then I saw actually someone wrote a good comment, a good question. So we'll get into that. And if you guys have any comments, just leave them and I'll actually check them this time. And yeah, let's get started. Should we? Go ahead.
Yeah, you could jump to
Okay, I'll go to the next page.
slide
Oh yeah.
3.
So if anyone wants to take a screenshot really quick and copy this down, this is Deven's amazing thesis. But that was just like probably for you and me to reference. But hold on now that.
Yeah, that's what the last episode we talked a lot about, that big image and then the explanation of the thesis. But okay, so the next slide.
Oh yeah, so here's our audience question. Our lovely audience, and actually this is extremely good question. Like I would give it a 10. I was gonna say a 20 out of 10. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Why hasn't GME brought forth any legal action against market makers who froze trading? You go first.
Okay, so it's like there's no fact on the table as far as like an answer for this. It's like an opinion question. But what I think is going on is in 2021 there were so many retail cases, like civil cases opened and discovery about it, and some of that's still like ongoing on some levels through multiple companies like MMTLP and Bed Bath and GameStop, AMC. A lot of them had their own little like front on like the litigation side from the civil cases. And so if GameStop were to have done the same thing, it might have yielded very similar results. Like a lot of these cases got stuck in a court system that I would argue could be better, but it's through the processes, it takes so long. GameStop would have to like be dealing with lawyer fees and the publicity about it, and so it would open GameStop to a lot of risk to directly pursue a lawsuit, and unless they had like concrete proof of like bad acts against the company. But then a lot of the claim stuff, like the naked shorting stuff, is like not considered concrete proof, so the courts just like can't hear it and it just won't get anywhere. And so until I would say GameStop evolves into this like next level holding company that's on the table, they're not going to be able to like retrace the past and get farther than litigation has already gone. But then when GameStop's better, they'll have a stronger case if future similar things are happening, or something new that's equally bad happens to the company. But I think that is like main case scenario of why like any big public company, it's harder for them to like pursue litigation like that, because that would only be something in like the extreme end game, like Volkswagen in 2008 against Porsche type. Like there wasn't a solution on the table. There was like a logical solution that ended up playing out, but then it took a lot of extra time as like the optics and the narratives all had to get like ironed out behind the scenes before the deal could be publicly admitted. And so I think GameStop's dealing with just like all of these factors.
I'm like, we're living in a crazy world right now. The fact that they can do this and then just get away with it, and then like fighting it would be so complicated when it was so blatantly illegal. Like, it's horrible.
Yeah, and it's hard to like sit here and understand that GameStop could walk into the court right about what's happening and then just still lose.
Yeah.
Or not lose, but just like the court system basically trades sideways like the market as far as like progress during times like this, because if they're protecting bad players on any level in any way whatsoever, they can't run a proper litigated court system. So it's like, since if there's naked shorts in the system, that I'm not saying that every single judge is bought out, but it's like there's parts of it's like a machine of cogs, and if a couple of them are bad, like you're gonna have problems. So
it's like the allegory of the cave, which we have in here, but it's like people are just happy or not knowing that this whole system is screwed up. I just feel like, aren't we going to wake up from this at some point and be like, wait a second, let's make the world like we thought it was, but it's way worse.
Yes, it's a constant ongoing battle.
Oh, so I was going to say also, I think what's going to be like, I don't know about you guys. Okay, I was just going to say like, this will date me a bit, but I'm cracking up because I'm thinking about, I don't know if you guys like, you should watch like Trey's like streams like back in the day. And like, I'm like thinking, okay, all that way far back, like we would get so excited over like songs about lamps. Like, I don't know if you remember like the lamp on, lamp off, like he would just leave his lamp running. And now it's like, okay, we get so excited when like Ryan Cohen sends out like a tiny meme, and we get so excited over like Lego doing something, and we get so excited over like Adam Aaron, like, like we get so like, I'm just saying this community gets so excited over the tiniest things that what you're saying makes me like, wow, I can't even believe, like, I just cautiously say if and when all of this finally starts to turn and like things start to get justified, things start to get said out loud, then one by one, all this good news comes out and it starts to affect the price positively and affect the price. Like it's going to be such a different world we're living in when actually like justice starts getting served and then all this good news starts affecting the stock and becomes undeniable. You know what I mean? I feel like this decade we're in now is going to be so different from a decade in the future from now.
Yeah, the landscape of the economy is really changing too. And GameStop is about to post their earnings for the full 2025 on March 24th. They announced that they're going to drop it after hours on that day. And then
that's a week from now.
It might be nothing, but it's like the next thing we're excited about because it just things happen on GameStop earnings, whether like the price goes up a lot or some other company collapses or like this. So we're just watching at this point as well. We're discussing details of this thesis, but if this is the page we're on, it's like we've taken a position and we're watching now, like while holding or adding to the position. But when we look into some of the statistics later, it's crazy the approach we're having and then the data they try to sell us. So you mentioned some of the other companies hinting at stuff. I saw you included some.
I will. We'll get into it. By the way, I really think, okay, isn't there like a shareholder meeting like annually where you're allowed to go in person? I was thinking I want to like go there. Like, shouldn't a bunch of people go and actually go to the in-person thing and be like, woohoo, and like cheering in person and be like, earnings report, and I'll write a blog about it and stuff. You're in freaking Texas. Like, what are you waiting for?
Well, it's good for the like-minded people to connect at things like that. And I do like all the online voting that they send out, the proxies.
Right, but you could go in person and sit there.
Yeah, no, I would like to be doing those kinds of things. I have a lot more free time now that I'm like.
That's what I'm saying. I was looking it up, and you're like allowed to go to Grapevine, and you're allowed to show up for their yearly report or whatever. So I'm like, dude, it's in June. Let's go, everybody.
Okay,
right?
It'd be so fun. Details.
Okay. So, so yeah, I guess like audience question summary. It's too risky, even though it's blatantly obvious. It's too risky for them to freaking do anything. Get out of here, world. Okay, I have 5 questions. My number 1 question is, what the heck do you think? Okay, and these are just like, there's a lot of relevant stuff I added in here. What do you think they're doing here? Like, first, when they did their Trade Anything Day, and now the fact that they're taking like MacBook specifically, they're like taking all this stuff, trading in all the Apple products. I know that RC is one of the top Apple shareholders, so maybe there's something going on there. What do you think is going on with this Trade Anything trade-in situation? Why are they collecting everyone's junk? And by junk, I mean prized possessions and etc. and junk.
Well, right, kind of like, so if you look at GameStop now as a holding company and not as a video game retailer,
They're
but
literally holding stuff.
they've come from video game retail, so they're a holding company with like a backlog of like technology, like niche technology, just like gadgets and stuff that were like the old console Frankenstein of a company. Like, so you can see they'll keep classifying older and older systems as classics, and then it puts them in a new market. So they're not in the new console market anymore. They're in the legacy console market, or whatever, kind of like what like Pokemon cards have become. So like they're not making Super Nintendos regularly anymore. So the ones that do exist are just like classics. It's kind of like cars. But so as video game culture is like huge now, so there's a couple layers of what's going on here. Like GameStop taking MacBooks, that's where they can like gain a bunch of new technology by like buying old MacBooks and ripping them open and using the technology with their already established business model to like achieve more growth than possible. Like I don't think they're like hinting at like a partnership or something with Apple.
Right.
While possible, a GameStop doesn't need a partnership with Apple, I feel like, because they're already doing this kind of stuff.
So you think that they're just kind of like, okay, I think I'm like, I need a little refresher on what a holding company is. Cause I feel like literally they're just holding a bunch of stuff, like everybody's random stuff they traded in, and now everybody's old MacBooks.
So
and
if
then
you look at like Berkshire Hathaway,
right.
It's like
they're just holding company means like whale investor, right? That like owns a bunch of things.
and you can
like
do it
shares.
on a small level. It's like the strategy behind your company's growth is like risk management of funding businesses, but through like the stock trading, for example. You buy stocks in companies that you have faith in of their future based on like supply and demand and fundamentals. It's like that's how the market should work at the core, and then we're far from that right now because of a lot of the other things that we're implicating. But GameStop is now sitting on a hoard of cash and has
a hoard of freaking MacBooks.
Nothing holding it back. Yeah, so they can just like buy anything like this, and then old MacBooks are going to be like super cheap because they're old. Then like how Apple releases their products after like 2 or 3 generations, all their older ones go slower, and it just like.
Right. I guess I just don't get it. Like what? Like you think they're just gonna rip them open and then use the like microchips and stuff like that for what? Building whatever? Like they don't build anything. They don't make anything. They just
but if stuff. If they're working with a bunch of old Nintendo 64s that are wired a certain way, and then they rip open a bunch of laptops and they're wired a different way, and then it's like if you look at the Super Nintendo, it has like a wired controllers and like cartridge games. And if you look like today, it's like virtual reality wireless all online or whatever, like for a lot of the market. So it's no one would even be able to see that change coming. And so again, in 15 more years, what could video games look like if we utilize like the military grade technology, but in like the console development? And it's like, I think if GameStop keeps that kind of a strategy open, and so their buy anything day, trade anything day is not only that front, but it's like they can buy anything. Like I saw a lot of silly things that were trying to be sold, and like someone tried to like go sell their dog or something. It's like no,
right. What's his face? Yeah, that guy's
like, but that was a good thing for community involvement. And then GameStop might have stumbled on some gems during that time. Like if they're going to be a collectibles company, they're investing in things that they believe in. So like they probably got a lot of Pokemon cards and other sports cards and
yeah. Did you trade anything in, by the way?
No, I bought a Switch 2 at GameStop, and I'm going and buying all my games there. And then since I keep buying it, my store credit rolls into points, and so I always get good deals.
Oh, cool.
So like, yeah, I just support the company that way. Like I like collecting.
Yeah, I mean,
what
trading
have.
and stuff. I just got, I traded in 2 random things, and then I was able to get a buck the bunny. So I'm pretty happy about that. But I just, mooched off of them.
Yeah, I have a good sized video game collection now. I'd like to just like hand it down, I guess, if I have a family. But that's something else in the future. So.
Right? It's so awesome though. Okay, and by the way, I was gonna say, like, wow, whoever did these graphics did a really cool job. But I'm like, oh, GameStop did. They did their own graphic because it looks like their own article. So I'm like, I like their graphic design team throwing that stock chart. Wait, I'm like, they threw that positive stock chart in the middle of their image. So a little bullish.
Well,
okay.
They know their market.
They know their market. They know their market. All right, question number 2. Okay, there's 2 things There's 2 things going on here, and these are super new. These are from yesterday. Number 1, I always am like, okay, you and I kind of are like experts in different ways. Like you're really good at understanding financial terms. And then I'm just like always like kind of trying to pick up on, I don't know, not always right, but like, like what are they implying? And so I'm just wondering if you think
it that way too.
Okay, yeah, that also. And so I'm just like, okay, I feel like what is like going on? I feel like there's something a little fishy in a good way about them like talking about like officially retro. Oh my god, it was so freaking, it's like they said even aesthetically unfortunate, but they just need to power on. They're still very cool. So okay, my point is like, what do you think they're doing, kind of like hyping up retro and saying they're a retro and officially announcing them retro? Do you feel like they're kind of like hinting at like a move they're gonna make in the future? And like this is like, like I don't know how, but like a Teddy reference or a block. Like, do you think there's anything going on here like more than meets the eye with this? And then we'll get into William Shatner next. I'm like, by the way, my last name's Kirk. Here says Kirk Hope. And William Shatner's Captain Kirk. So my name is popping up, you guys. Okay, anyway. What do you think is going on with this retro situation? Are they hinting at anything, or are they just being simple?
I think
and look at their phone number is 741 in it.
I think it's mostly just marketing, like.
Okay.
So him calling it specifically GameSpot. And
we're not talking about that yet, but him saying GameSpot, we'll jump to that. When William Shatner by mistake said GameSpot, and then he was like, oops, and then he replied to the guy that corrected him, and then he said, never mind, #corrected.
So to me, that looks like a marketing gimmick type stuff, but I don't know if there's an underlying meaning with the GameSpot or anything else that he was mentioning, but it is a direct reference to GameStop, but
right.
So that's why I think marketing when I look at it, but I'm not sure if there's like an underlying like vocabulary thing, but for like kind of what you were saying, like Pizzagate vocabulary for certain things.
Right? Are they like implying something about retro
version of that or whatever? I don't know. It's that deep, but
I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised because like you can't even say like DK Butterfly on most of the like if you say that on Superstar, they just delete it. Whatever post that word was in, the whole post gets deleted because like they just can't have that word on there at all. And
I just started all these social medias just for our live streams. And my first one I posted, I did like #BBBYQ, blah, 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 blah. And then it got banned. My whole account got shut down and got like flagged. 2 different accounts got flagged. And then I was like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. And then they're like, oh, never mind. So I think like, I was just harmlessly being like, yay, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, like those are definitely like flagged. Like, sir, she said BBBYQ.
It's just moderated and gate kept really bad. Like most of the internet, Google gets scrubbed, Reddit gets like the post looked through before they go live, and then like a lot of the content gets trashed before it can make it to the surface, and then you'll have to like I'll have to write my sentences on there a certain way.
You have to say like code words.
Like if you look at that first thesis that we were discussing, it's like I had to call AMC movie company stock the whole time and video game company stock for GameStop because like you can't post it anywhere where if those words are in it. So it's like
so
an addiction
insane
battle going on at the same time as like a psychological front and actual events happening within the companies that are like reacted to.
It's insane. By the way, if anyone's here and watching, if you guys want to give it like a thumbs up or a like so more people can find it so we're not banned, that's cool. Okay, next one. Okay, this is the thing too. And like Batman was in here, and Batman, who William Shatner replied to, L Batman. Here's Batman stuff going on. Like we've seen before in Roaring Kitty's videos, like the bat signal. Now, what do you think? This is my third question / topic. Like, number one, there's kind of like Chewie saying it's the final countdown that got cut off. We're so close to the truth. We can feel it in our bricks. Even like Elon Musk soon is kicking off X Money, and people were asking Flexport CEO. And then a whole different topic. Lego is like talking to some random person for no reason, using the number 741, which they would always say on the PP show. Like they'd always be like 741, 741. Pulte would always come on and say 741. So what do you think is going on? Like, do you think we're close to, I mean, do you think they'd be like, I don't know. Then again, I feel like everyone's been saying like, we're so close now for freaking half a decade. Like I said, I've been excited for tomorrow for years, but do you feel like the hype's coming, or do you think this is just them keeping themselves legally vague and just hyping up randomly? Oh, I think you're frozen, Devin. Well, I'll answer my question. Hold on, I'm gonna text him and say you're frozen. You're frozen. I don't know. That's why I'm asking this question. I am not sure. I feel like probably something's coming. I mean, I don't know how long this can be delayed. So, I don't know. I think something's got to happen soon. And this is the other thing. I don't think these companies would mess around with us for no reason. Like everybody's already messing around with us. You know what I mean? Everyone's already making fun of us. Everyone's already hating on retail investors. Like there's already like 1,000 people to choose from to hate on this community. And so I don't think they would be messing with us for no reason. So that's what I think. And Lego is being so freaking implication-y, always talking about like stuff related to this. So I don't know. Like I heard theories that maybe, I don't know, like a partnership or GameStop's going to buy some of Lego. So we'll see. Also, X Money probably is going to be like WeChat, which is in China, which I used to live in China for 4 years. And like you literally just do everything like with your social media app and pay for it all. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, my next question will go on. Oh, okay. I don't know about you guys, but did you see that the CEO of Flexport, which I'm pretty sure the Teddy books, like Ryan Cohen wrote those children's book, the Teddy books, and they were all coming out of the warehouse that is the same warehouse or something like that Flexport owns. And like ever since, it seems like there's something going on with Flexport shipping. And so of course, if Ryan Cohen's building the Amazon competitor, then they need like a shipping system. And so anyway, and then like, I don't know, the Flexport CEO kind of makes a lot of jokes about stuff related. He's really chatty with the BBBYQ and GameStop community. And one time he even made a joke with me in one of his videos, but then he didn't like one of my jokes and then he deleted off his LinkedIn. But now you can see that he got the same jacket that Ryan Cohen was famously wearing. So I don't know. It's just like so many things that are coincidental with these like black jackets that they're always wearing. I don't know. Like that's kind of the code. Maybe they're talking in. Okay, my last question. If Deven doesn't come back, we're going to need some random people from the audience to come in and explain some of the stuff that... Oh, here we go. Okay, Deven, I'm guessing your phone died. Can you hear? Oh, your audio is not working again. Well, I'm sure you'll figure it out. But your audio is not working. No audio. Okay, and my last question... Oh, okay, I was actually really hoping Deven could explain because... this we brought up a minute ago. Oh, this was crazy. So this was yesterday. It says a Bloomberg terminal. Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but it's a little echoey, or maybe it's okay now. It's okay
now. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So basically, this one's saying like a Bloomberg terminal shows that one institution's holding 70% of the whole company, just one institution. So emergency hedge, and GameStop quarter fiscal year. And then someone has said like, this is if the theory of the waterfall is accurate. So again, all of this, like I hardly even know how to put these words into my own words, but basically like yesterday someone saw that 70% of the company was held in one position. And then 2 people are saying maybe this earnings report will kick off the waterfall. So can you like talk about both of those things and like dumb down? The waterfall is what? Just like everyone getting paid. And I feel like whenever I hear a waterfall, I think of BBBYQ coming back, reemerging, and then people getting paid in order of the shares they held, but also common shareholders will also get paid because of this extraordinary once in a lifetime event.
Yeah, so some of that Bed Bath & Beyond stuff's still on the table with the merger, potential merger prospects Jimmy is doing. And then, so I don't know if any data like that will appear on this report or the next one as like they use time to their advantage as far as like this merger's going. Because I think Ryan Cohen was going to go talk on Charles Payne, but then it ended up not happening. But I think that was like maybe a good move. Because like the people against GameStop need that information too, and for it to just like not come out in a certain way, it's like we can trade them sideways too, kind of. But it's holding is easier than paying interest on a short position. So yeah, and I just wanted to address. Yeah, right before I just got disconnected there. Yeah, sorry, my phone like overheated, iPhones. But you were asking about the Lego theories and sevenfold.
Yeah. This whole Lego theory. Do you think something's coming soon? And like, what do you think's going on with all these?
Just Lego's a private company,
right?
So they're not publicly
family owned, right? It's like a family owns it,
and so they can kind of just say things like they released the chart of a Lego. It's like a Lego building and a guy standing there with a green crayon, and he drew the stock market graph going up, but it's like in phases where it's going up. So it was like we can maybe pull that graphic up later, but it's awesome because like Lego it's like someone knew some data to like put that together in a meme form.
Dude, they're saying I can't find it. Well, I can't find it on first.
No, it's hard to find because
it's hard to find all this stuff. But I'm saying of course they know something. Everything they're saying is relating to every freaking crazy person theory related to all this. Like Lego is in on something, and they have been for years. That's what I'm saying. It must be such a weird, lonely, but it's probably like a fun. But yeah, like when you know all this stuff and you can't tell anybody.
But some of the things like 741 and like the emoji timeline, those are kind of just like abstract. So like I don't think there's not an answer to it. It's more of like the marketing hype because it's like 7 for young generations. So like GameStop people could just know what 741 is. But like they'll use it in marketing like as like a play on words whenever they can. So it comes around in the community sometimes now, just whatever. People buy 741 shares exactly, or they do like a deal in the store and they talk about like 741.
Right. What the heck?
A certain way or what? Like, and so I think it's like an extension of marketing, like, because like if you have a retail group that would like die for the company based on what they believe, then they're going to be your best marketing because like they're just going to preach your company.
We're going to like scream it out and we don't know what it means.
So it like, right. And then so like it psychologically makes sense in large groups, like that kind of behavior. So
yeah, but I want to answer. Oh, this was my next thing I brought up. The fact that Ryan Peterson is randomly showing off that he bought the leather jacket. These little types of things that they're doing, or it's like coincidental.
That picture is a little older, right?
Well, that's Ryan Peterson, and then that's Ryan Cohen, and what's his face?
Right, but he's wearing the jacket.
Yeah, exactly. And now Ryan Peterson's like, guess what? I bought the jacket too.
Okay.
That was
right.
yesterday.
Oh, okay. I get it. It's a fall. He's following Ryan Cohen or whatever.
Right?
But I don't know. Maybe the price posted. It's like
4 plus 9 plus 5 plus 1 is 741. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
right, but
Probably not.
I don't know if it's. I think he's like it's a price range or something, but like I'm not sure. You go on Reddit. There's all kinds of people trying to like
Decode everything.
well, they're trying to pin certain prices. They're like, oh, GameStop's going to $300 again, or like GameStop's going to $385.
Dude,
or
it's going to 385 million. Get out of here.
The floor is like, go to the gmefloor.com or whatever. It's like that. That's the interest over time, like logarithm about it on the graph. But you can look at like the logarithm graph of GameStop, and it's just like pointed up. Like it looks awesome. So jumping.
This is my last question. This is my last topic. Is like what's it mean that someone's saying here if the theory of the waterfall is accurate, blah 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 blah. Even though I know this guy Salvatore's maybe been proven as a bit of a shill. Like I don't know, but we don't talk about that because I don't want to get anyone, blah blah blah, but maybe. And then here is like also this is from yesterday. This seems like right up your alley of things you like to talk about and understand way more than me. But Credit Suisse is holding 70% of GameStop.
Okay.
So maybe talk about both of these.
Yes. This is when I was looking over this PowerPoint before this, I was like, oh yes, this is where I'm gonna talk about some stuff. So okay.
Love it. And I'm like, what's a waterfall, by the way? And I'm like, because I was saying earlier, I'm pretty sure like the only thing I know about waterfall is they always talked about it related to BBBIQ, and like that's like when people start getting paid. But
so that would be like, in my opinion, that's a windfall. So like where you'll gain massive gains that were unexpected, like an inheritance or something like that. It's like a windfall. So waterfalling, I think it's talking about like trickle down economics, but how the market physics are, it's like it works in the market like that too. So like because Credit Suisse is holding bags from collapsed Archegos, which is Bill Huang. I gave you
a slide on that.
Yes, and so it shows the scale of his fraud. Actually, you could go real quick to that slide.
I'm like, okay, I don't want to. Oh, here. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So that one, it's like that he got busted for fraud, turning $1 billion into $35 billion in like a very short time through market manipulation or whatever. But it was like a whole court case that exploded, and like he got busted, and then
Credit Suisse decided to take it on.
Well, it had to do with idiosyncratic risk and probably forced leverage, and it was like that's the mechanism of the entire banking leverage where the banks put it if they're all working together.
That answer just literally meant nothing to me. What?
It just, if all the banks are working together, right, and like JP Morgan Chase can't hold these bags and Bank of America can't hold these bags.
If Bill Huang just did all that stuff and then 35x all that risk, somebody else has to take it on?
It's because they couldn't close the short contracts because they're all stuck to other companies like GameStop. And so like it's part of this bags that, okay. So like Melvin Capital collapsed in 2021 because it was like the fall guy for this stuff. And then it keeps falling apart later. FTX was hiding stuff. Then that imploded, and Sam Bankman-Fried, and that they're already getting out of prison. I thought like, I thought I would be MOASS before Caroline Ellison walked the streets free.
This is ridiculous. This is like how you're saying, like when GameStop can't sue anyone, even though it was illegal because it's too risky. Now freaking Bill Huang can do 35x fraud and then just get away with it. Now someone takes it. But I guess what? This can't last forever.
Bill Huang didn't necessarily like get away with it, but
whoever convinced him to do it did.
Scale of precedence on like, okay, so yeah, Credit Suisse holding 540,000 or million shares worth of contracts. So I don't know if you can pull up the Thesis chart again, the big but you can.
Yeah. Let me pull it up. Hold on. I'm gonna add it as a new screen. Hold on. Oops, I didn't mean to press that.
Yeah, you can put the image or the file I sent you where you can like navigate through the document.
Yeah, here we are.
Whatever's easier. Okay, so if you can go, right there in the so you see where on the same leverage instruments column we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Like move the magnifying glass down a little bit, scroll down that column, a little more, right there, right where the magnifying glass is, a little above it, where it says fines for crimes.
Yes.
See that line? Okay, and you go over, it says maleficent narratives, racketeering.
DOJ, buy button removal, NDAs, RICOs, computer share.
Okay, so no, that's not computer share. That's Credit Suisse.
Oh.
And then I have the arrow going, and now scroll over a little bit where you can see the column, and then it goes into Archegos and UBS. And then so UBS I have in red. So now we can look at all of the words that are red on this entire chart. So it implicates like Boston Consulting Group, which is up over in the influence and policy section on the top right corner of the purple.
Okay.
Yeah, all the way up there.
Oh, yeah, right there.
We got the CrowdStrike collapse, blackmail, planted officials, Ken Griffin, Too Big to Fail, billionaire philanthropists, charities. It's where they hide all this stuff, like Bill Gates' company, and through all of his networks and people like him doing the same thing. It's these same private companies and family offices in other countries running the arbitrage scams and spoofing and all kinds of leverages against companies. It's like a whole web of offense based on like all of the factors on this chart that go against companies. So like they're hitting GameStop on the short front with this whole chart as a weapon.
Which most people would say you're crazy to think, but then they wouldn't give it the time to learn.
And there's a lot of other red words in there, and then they're all like interconnected and on different columns and categories that they're in, and it's a big nasty disaster, like the whole thing. And it's overwhelming to like sit there and look at this chart and string everything together. But like, so just I wanted to pull that context in for your slide 8 here where it talks about Credit Suisse, because if they're holding bags that were once UBS, Archegos, it's the hot potato. It's been identified and it's being tracked. And the
wait. So what do you think's going on right here with Credit Suisse? Do you think like just for a moment they were holding this many? Just like, why would they be having this many put contracts?
Okay, so how they roll these contracts?
What even is a put contract?
When companies like GameStop did a forward split or whatever, and that kind of like condenses or expands the company per their shares. But like, so with options contracts, they can like roll over and condense shares into baskets and like, so then like, well, their level 2 options data will just look normal. Maybe they'll make a big position and move it, and then it goes somewhere else. So it's in a basket somewhere where it's not visible, but then they have like incredibly large idiosyncratic risk in some of these baskets because they'll fold them so many times and send them off until like, it's like black holes where they just like become their own gravity based on things like if they were paying interest on any of that or what. We got an economy in the notional quadrillions now, nearly just so much money has been printed and reallocated over and over, and banks don't have to have any reserves. And so it's basically infinity. Like you've seen the zombie stock leverages explode, and it'll say like 4,000% or 10,000% or whatever, but really it's whatever percent they need.
Right.
Like it's shown infinity percent before. I think I sent you a picture where
that must be so frustrating to be like, to be able to see all this data from leadership and then like still watch it happen. But I feel like, hold on, puts are when you think the price is going to go down, but we don't even need to get into that 101 right now. Okay. But again, okay, I want to ask my 2 questions again. Why would they suddenly be holding that many? Isn't that fishy? Isn't that illegal? And like, for what purpose do you think they were doing that? And then also let's get back to what do you think they're saying about this waterfall thing? Like, what do you think he's implying there? So Why would they be holding this many all of a sudden for a second?
Well, it's been a waterfall. If Melvin collapses and hands it to UBS, and they collapse and hand it to.
But they're talking about a waterfall for the fiscal year 2025, the earnings date. What does a waterfall have to do with earnings date?
It might kick off the next banking collapse.
Oh.
It's like these banks are just so over leveraged, and they can all collapse at any moment, and it's like about like strings getting pulled
Dang.
time. So like
I feel like we've been waiting for banks to collapse for years now, like at least like a year or something. I don't know, like
well, we
two.
have
Like I
been
remember
having
AMC
banks
Bigum's like had this whole list back when I was listening to him, and
like Silicon Valley Bank went up, and that was a couple years now, but it's like they have big like.
But I guess if they space them out far enough, they can
settle and some of the assets get distributed, and then another one will collapse, and it's like a cascading thing where like there could be multiple meanings. Like they use words like waterfall, and it's like a little bit abstract, especially for like
classic social media clickbait vagueness. Okay, wait, we'll go back to this really quick though. Why would they be holding 540,000 put contracts for a moment? Because doesn't that like shine a light on them, but also everyone's protecting them, you know?
Well, if you also think about what a put against GameStop means
what in the world
right now. So
I don't know.
Business model of being a holding company is apparently worth nothing because they're holding $10 billion worth of spending power, and they're effectively valued at about $10 billion. So this put contract effectively is betting that $10 billion is not worth $10 billion. And that's how stupid it is to be shorting this company right now, because they have only upside right now on their whole agenda. And it just, so
yeah,
it's like consolidated debt obligations. So the Credit Suisse is holding big bags right now. Like that's all I can say about it, because like they don't have enough cash to pay that if it's gonna like have a rational tether to any fundamental market. So that I would say that's what idiosyncratic risk looks like. It's not good. And so while that many short contracts would give them the rights to majority of the company. If they're holding 70% of the company, then if the company declared bankruptcy, they would be entitled to 70% of it because of like their position size. But contracts are different. So like it could imply more than 70% ownership since they're like the more than 50%. So it would get complicated and probably be litigated in court per details.
That's what I was thinking about.
GameStop's not going to declare bankruptcy. So like, you don't even have to consider any of that. That's not on the table right now. And so that's big bags right there.
That's what I was saying, where the future will be so exciting when they finally start to like get back at like when the buy button was removed and stuff like this, and they can start, getting like actually following through in court cases and stuff with this.
I don't know if they mean waterfalls, like GameStop's going to be like acquiring companies and then that cascades through the market, or like if this you need to do another bank and it collapses and starts rippling through the market. So it's just like it could mean various things, maybe both, because like what's good for one is not good for the other. So like it would make sense if both extremes happen. One goes up instead of
okay, so let's get in. I just checked and there's like no random questions. So let's keep going now. This is something you put this chart here, and then I just wrote this sort of summary of what this is showing. I don't know if you think it's quite accurate, but basically like everything about the stock market right now that we think is normal is actually unprecedented. It's never ever happened. Like we're completely like this stock market is absolutely crazy. Never in history has anything like this ever happened. It's so extreme it can't even sustain itself. And we've gotten here because of debt derivatives too big to fail. And actually this I thought was interesting, and you've kind of said it before, but I understood it better when I was researching that like a lot of banks should have actually failed in 2008. But instead, they leveraged money and they kept printing money. Sometimes and then even the $1 problem became a $300 problem using random collateral. And now what's happening is that GameStop and AMC accidentally exposed this. So we wouldn't even have known this was going on and gotten all these random people obsessed with this and paying attention without the GameStop and AMC situation, stuff like this.
It's now it's the part where it's like OnlyFans is AIPAC's biggest donor. And if AIPAC is allowed to receive massive amounts of donations from industries like that to like fund political candidates, then it's a bought out system. And so if you have politicians that are allowing money printing to just effectively continuously bail out banks for taking bad risk just every single time and then just put on the taxpayers.
Yeah.
This eventually turns into what we're in now. It's like late stage capitalism where this country could go strong for a lot more time, except it's been sold out now. So like it's about to just get inflated and diluted immediately. And like, so, well, I think the current administration with Donald Trump is kind of actually taking steps against that because of like, he's going to shake this up more than like previous legislative leaders have had. But you've seen the chart with the politics, the price just goes up, whether it's red or blue.
Right. That's, I don't know what page this is on here. Next time we need
we can go to it.
Index.
But it's just if that's why I'll be calling treason, because it's like if our own elected leaders are just selling us out, and then that's just culture now, like what are we even doing? And we're beyond slaves, man. It's just like the whole thing doesn't work. And then we just see like mass layoffs and money problems and over leveraged banks. And then it's like the banks should never be able to get to these leverages. They should be holding gold and have to lend money carefully. And then that's just not what ever happened so far. So now the laws say banks don't have to hold any gold, and then there's just unlimited bailouts for banks no matter what. And they can just keep folding share bets against GameStop into Credit Suisse over and over until it's just a massive freaking put position with no oversight. And it's a nuclear bomb of the market. Like it's going to affect a lot of stuff here soon because it's just going to blow up in these guys' pockets. And, that's what apes know. Like we already can just see the writing on the walls about that stuff and why we like take the positions we do and then directly register the shares to our name, because when that explosion happens, it's pretty much like 39 trillion of United States debt obligations are going to get siphoned through backlog through this system. Like if you eat food and it comes out the other end, a backlog would be to go up the other end, and it's gonna just mess up these banks. Like it, and so GameStop about to inherit the front side of whatever backlog is stuck in swap baskets that have been leveraging banking this whole time. So, and companies like GameStop, so like AMC is gonna see it, and GameStop's gonna see it, and then so while there's asymmetric leverages used against the companies to control like the narrative in the stock graph, it's still like the core problem is in the money and the money flow. So you can look at like M1 and M2 money supply since COVID, and it just exploded. And it's like, that's when then they're just like, oh yeah, we're going to just throw as much cash as anybody ever seen at banks and like see how long they can live, as like the whole thing goes parabolic. And here we are. And so the unsustainability gets worse and worse and worse the higher up this history of share prices graph goes until the bubble pops. And then we're probably going to retrace like up to 100 years. I've been saying we're going to go back to 1929 because like that's when like a lot of Fed policies started kicking off, and then the exponential curve started up a lot. And it was like right before World War II. So that's like the whole next war generation cycle, and it makes sense to retrace back that far based on like the scale of money printing. And like I was telling you, it took 400 years to get to 10 billion, and then we just quadrupled it real quick. So it's like we're going to retrace a lot of that.
So if you think that like right now we're all slaves like more than ever and things are really like what like worse than they've ever been, what do you feel like we can do to resist it and like to change it? Or is there anything we can do?
Well, I think it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy now. Like violence is the answer, I think. And not that I'm pro-violence, but here we are bombing Iran, and it's ramping up a conclusion to this thing now, fiscally, emotionally, for like globally. And so not that I'm pro-war or anything, but it just like I could have called this. I already knew this stuff was gonna happen because it's like the psychological front.
I don't know what I thought your answer was going to be, but I didn't think it was going to be like violence is the answer. But
No, and it's because like look at what's happening in court. We're just apes are stuck there.
right.
GameStop
I mean,
can't go to court, and then so like GameStop not about to kill some people, but it's like through the banking leverages that
they will in video games.
they're gonna lash out, and
Own you.
someone's gonna drop a nuke somewhere.
Oh, I wanted to ask you too,
Oh, yeah.
like looking at this chart, like has there anything ever in the past, you know, when did that start? 1500. So in the past, like 500, 700 years, it's been equivalent to this AMC GameStop thing? Or is AMC and GameStop really one of the first things ever to stop this sort of like financial corruption once and for all? Which also then brings me to my next question / point, which is why there's so many people that don't take the time to study this. And then they're like, you guys are crazy. You believe it, like you're just bag holders stuck in a dream. But we're like, no, we've been researching this, and I really think it's like a once in a freaking 1,000 years / ever human history situation, right? Or no, or anyway. So yeah, I guess to reiterate, is this the first of its kind?
Yes,
Is it the first of its kind?
it's like a unique setup. However,
It's kind of amazing, right?
Yeah, because like if retail owns a whole flow publicly, that's awesome. And so that's why they like, but when the DRS numbers hit 75 million, they just cut it off, and like that report just got stagnated, and like so people are still buying these shares and registering them. It just like they can't have that public data because it's like it's too much.
Too encouraging. It's too encouraging.
That kind of thing would allow GameStop to go to court and win. So they can't.
Oh.
That's where the front ends, and it's not psychology anymore. It's no, we're gonna go drop a nuke now because y'all hit the wall. And so that's why these timelines are playing out over the long term, because it's the current
They don't know what to do with it.
is gonna die protecting their stolen hoard. Like they're gonna.
Oh.
Like, that's why this is a war, and it's like. The vaccine front that like Bill Gates was leading a lot of, more people died from this shit than COVID, or I mean than the Holocaust already. Like so like, and then they're not even taking accountability for this, and like whenever. So like the longer this keep going, the more people get affected by it, and it's the number's already bigger than the Holocaust. Like way more than 10 million people got the vaccine. So like as that just plays out now. And there was like different vaccines. It's all like a big experiment. And it was like the sanctioning was bad. The legislation was rushed. Like there was so much that just was like,
yeah,
it's the same bad smell that's in the market about GameStop. Like, and so when all of this comes to a head in like the broader market, GameStop just has to sit and wait. So as it puts out its earnings report and it stays strong because it didn't do anything wrong. People the company, and that's the whole like crux.
All we did was like a stock.
We're talking about, because they depend on making the right call and letting that bet just continue to steamroll whatever company they pick. But then they couldn't steamroll GameStop. They hit the wall. And then so like, this is what banking leverage unwinding looks like. It looks like bombing Iran and the Japanese carry trade on the line, and a housing market inflation, and like a war over oil. Like the whole, it's going to be everything. It's silver is going to cycle again. And so it's scary because if a lot of apes get rich on GameStop, for example, and we're talking about it being great, and it depends on what we do with it after that, if that's going to be true or not. And then I have faith in that group of people because like there's a lot of good things that GameStop represents. So like,
Yeah.
in my opinion, it's good to stand behind a company like this, like morally, fiscally, like if you understand the opportunity, it's awesome. And then but if we hand that wealth down to generations after us who haven't gone through this, probably the potential for most of that wealth to get squandered and reallocated back into the hands of narcissists long term, and then until we're in World War IV.
That's why we need to influence the media. That's what I'm all about. We need to change like kids TV, change the books, like get it all so less like disaster and bullying, and then like we need to change how people are spending their time. That's like 100% what I'm trying to freaking do.
But now we're living in like a very woke
and the way they're growing up,
self-aware, extreme generation who have all like there's so much of the population who have experienced violence or were exposed to like porn at young ages, and so like the whole like society of this country will not translate, like the culture is not going to translate good unless
I'll tell you one thing,
root money problems to have like a fundamental economic society again before we can like clear up a lot of the psychological propaganda delusion.
Wait. But one time I took this class and it was called like, I forget what it was, but it was basically about like making friends through video games. And I did it recently, just like randomly, just to get a certificate and throw it on LinkedIn. But it was like called like the friendship machine or something. And it's like about how people make friends online. And they researched what is the number one reason most people like playing community-based video games. And they said it's because they like to help other people. So gamers love helping people. You know what I mean? I think actually that's the thing you realize, like almost everybody has so many of the same needs, wants, desires. Like we just want to help, food, good times, humor, you know, and then we have all this other stuff that's like wearing us down and bringing out the worst in us throughout the day and draining our energy and sucking our souls. And
a lot of like adventure games, you're like the main character or like, and you're like saving people, solving a problem, right? Whatever you're doing.
Yeah, you're like the hero's journey. So now we're all going on this hero's journey. Okay, so now we're getting more into like the whole part of your PowerPoint. Like I literally went through, I think almost every single page and added stuff that I would want to know about it. Everything I didn't understand. This one's insane. And this is so cool. And I feel like, what if we were to do this with a lot of people? And I think like the way to summarize this, that's so insane, is one private citizen. You forget thinking that Bill Gates is literally just one private citizen.
Right. That's why I said the scope of one powerful elite. Like, so it's like
one simple man has done all of this BS.
And he has like people working for him and stuff and the help within the companies, but it's like every billionaire has this going on. Like Elon Musk had one of these connected to Tesla and SpaceX and like all that stuff. And then every billionaire has one of these. Donald Trump has one. Like every congressman has one of these. And like you could see that one video in the congressman where one of them's asking like the whole group, like, raise your hand if you own a private insurance company. And they all raise their hand. And like, raise your hand if you also own a private pharmaceutical company. And they all raise their hand. And raise your hand if you, and they just all keep raising their hand. All own all of them. Like they just all have their own this. And then they go.
I'm like, can we fix this world? We need a revolution. We need a revolution now.
And then they siphon all the money into their own pockets now. So the weight of them doing this, like no one can stop them. Like, because they can just pay for someone to get murdered, or like they get stuck in court forever, or like they're untouchable and they get to just run the world with their private companies and all the money, and then the different rules for them. And that's all I highlight in the chart. It's like where the like red words connect and the yellow words connect, like all over that thing. And it's just large scale arbitrage, but greater than the market. It's like through socialization and humanity, they just like over leverage all of humanity. And then they just like sitting on it like unfairly. And so a lot of people have problems with it, but nothing can be done. And then that's where byproducts like the Luigi Mangione thing will come in. Violence. Right. Nothing is solved until violence. And it's so sad. But we're like, apes aren't just going to go kill everybody. We're trying to solve this peacefully in the market.
Yeah. Actually.
But like these banks would go kill everybody. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm facing. Like, so it's like they're definitely the bad guys. So like,
I was gonna say, like, actually, the whole reason I started getting into all this stuff, even back in the day, is I remember one time I talked to my friend and I was like, what would I do if I had $1 million? And then I realized I would start a reality TV show for teachers where it glamorized education, and it'd be like Project Runway, but it'd be like Project, and you had to do school projects and like this, and then the kids would be like, this teacher did a good job with this, and this teacher was annoying. And anyway, they do school projects and evaluate at the end. So I started realizing like I really wanted to make like culture and media to make because right now school is such a mess. And if we can make cool pop culture that makes school more glamorous. And then I started thinking like, wow, that would be a really good way to spend $1 million. And then I started thinking like, why shouldn't I make $1 billion? Like at first I was like, well, I don't deserve $1 billion. And then I was thinking about it, I was like, well, lots of people have $1 billion and they're really selfish with it. So maybe I do deserve to try to make $1 billion. And so that's why I started getting into the stock market. I was like, maybe I'll become a billionaire one day. Like, cause I think I could do a good job with it too. Just as good a job as any of these other guys. And I think that's a lot of the conditioning that we have as like simple citizens, is to think like $1 billion is totally out of our reach. Like for almost nobody you ever talk to is like, I want to be a billionaire,
so I found like you could probably
me.
do that. You could do that company but probably without $1 million. You don't need $1 million to do that kind of stuff. And we're kind of doing it already on the front by like talking about it like this and organizing the information and start. And so the power of money kind of plateaus once you have enough to kind of like do the things you want.
True.
As an individual.
I'm like, true. Like every single video game you ever play, like The Sims, when you get the fruit from outer space and then suddenly you have unlimited money, you're like, what am I supposed to do with all this? So.
And you don't need it after a certain point.
Right.
It's sad to see the market in this shape where you just have like dragons hoarding the top and they don't get anything from it. And then they're just like kind of like handed it down. So it's like the GameStop thing I was talking about. Like if we hand the money down, we're going to have World War IV and 80 more years because they squander the wealth because they don't know where it came from. And it just like how it happens.
That's what I'm saying. We got to make media and stories to teach the next generation.
A lot of the current billionaires just were handed this money. So they're not even like, oh, there's other humans who I should respect and work with. No, they're like, I was born rich and I'm better than everybody. So then they just live that way. And it's super sad because that's not a way to live. Well, they're doing it, but it's like Game of Thrones type stuff. Like these are evil people. I'd get like Cersei vibes if you ever seen that. She's like so evil and owns everything. And she's like, no, I want to just use my free time to harm others. And she's just doing like messed up things.
I'm like, oh yeah, didn't you say you just started watching Game of Thrones recently?
She finally dies. But yes, and it's like sorry if I spoil that for anyone who hasn't seen it, but no, like the whole show, you just want her to die because she's just doing horrible things, and then it isn't a whole sad story, but it's like a good example of what power will do to somebody if the worst psychological elements are there.
Okay, this next slide, basically the summary of it is that big institutions are using crypto and metals as leverage in ways that regular investors can't. But now AMC, GME, BBBYQ are outsmarting them and positioning themselves outside the system, hedging, whether it's AMC with silver, GME with Bitcoin and collectibles. And then BBBYQ is doing its whole bankruptcy, blah, blah, which, is yet to be understood. And I know a lot of people understand it way better than me, like Jake to be and blah, blah. But yeah, maybe you can talk about this slide that you made.
Yes. So just this is what swaps look like. So if one bank like Credit Suisse has 540,000 GameStop shares or whatever.
Right.
And then say there's some for AMC somewhere. Cool. Nice.
I know that was just perfect timing. Carry on.
So if so for example, you see these Microsoft and Apple.
Yeah.
You see how it's like the same shape?
Yeah.
Those are two completely different companies. And so someone swapping options for those companies for a leverage and And
Like, I need a freaking roller coaster tycoon version of whatever's going on here to understand this, because I'm like, swaps, options, puts, blah, like it's like what? But
they'll do this with like a lot of public companies, all with the algorithm doing like hundreds of companies at the same time. And so like it's a rebalancing constantly, like every millisecond, and then so like after hours when the market shuts down, they can just still go in there and do that. And that's where you see those big spikes on the other side, like where people can't trade.
Is it just that nobody used to pay attention to this stuff, and now like we're all paying attention? We're like, what the heck's going on? And they're like, like, you know what I mean?
Buy orders for companies go in, and then it's like your order will be filled at 9 a.m. Then they'll just like set the market
Like
up.
I'm saying, these shady things they're doing. It's like,
yeah.
No one was paying attention before, or like people were, but then they were getting shut down, and now like the common folk, like you and me,
the market was operating on supply and demand
on secrecy
until like at a certain point, enough politicians got bought out, and then they're like, all right, let it off the hook, and then they like policy got unhinged, and then they just started scalping and doing all the shit they do, and then it's like, no, it just got so bad so quick. But it started with put your hand in the cookie jar.
It didn't used to be this.
Now the whole cookie jar is empty. So it's like, so like it escalated quickly. It's like, that's why it's like criminal karma. Like when you add crime to society, that negative energy goes somewhere until it like capitulates, and then you have like a mass shooting somewhere, or like companies committing fraud against the masses. Like it just like it's like negative energy that has culminated in a form. Because like if you say people want to do good things and they're playing adventure games and building things,
right?
But this is also happening. It's like not everybody playing on the same side,
right?
There's another one too where it shows. I think it's a couple slides forward, but it shows AMC and silver. One more?
Right here. Or this one.
Oh, one more. Yeah, this one. So you see the stock graphs look the same, or they're like completely inverse like this. And then, so this is just an asymmetric swap. You know what I'm saying? The other swaps were symmetrical, and these are asymmetric swaps. So that's why AMC is holding Hycroft warrants, because like, look, this was in 2023 or 22, I think, the screenshot, where the one with the arrow on it.
Right, that's right. Oh yeah, AMC used to be $7.
And then over here, that was right when they did the ape split. So they had to like arbitrage silver to manage ape, and then put ape back together with AMC. And now AMC is holding Hycroft warrants. So like, AMC in position to like murder the arbitrager here. Whoever's got these swaps on their books is going to like completely collapse, because these swaps must be so huge. I'm talking about like 3 times larger than the company of shares existing or more. Like if 500 million shares exist, this is like 2 billion shares of leverage worth of pressure.
So when are we going to see something?
Exactly. So there's no timeline.
Down.
But this is like proof. Like I don't know how this wouldn't be admissible in court, because it just like, look at that. Like look at it. It happened at the same time. The moves are like completely asymmetrical. And then there's a link that we can get into, which I call algorithm chunks, where I identify key shapes as swaps, and kind of, it's where I show like Volkswagen and AMC doing the same freaking moves during AMC's reverse split. Like it did what Volkswagen did post resolution of its short squeeze. So they had to like inverse a metric to buy more time during that period when ape fused back together, and then the company did the reverse split. It consolidated shorts to a magnitude of 10-1. And that's because the reverse split did the shares 10-1. So shorts bags got 10 times heavier when that happened. And then now we see Hycroft mining just exploded 1,000%, which is a magnitude.
Wait. Wait. You're saying that that the 10-to-1 split then being recombined made all their obligations 10 times more now?
Yes, but then them
And it's still hanging around?
Them diluting with Ape helped them a little bit, so it might have made it go back up to like 5 times or whatever.
Okay, that's
Somewhere in between that. But
if
then
they closed at that
high crop mining just exploded 1,000%, which like unwound 1,000% leverage somewhere.
Yeah. AMC's sitting on something incredibly valuable, and everyone's pretending it's not there. They're holding these.
AMC already sold some of those shares back to Eric.
Right, like no offense, but one day before it popped.
And then, so now AMC has like really good credibility with probably the up and coming most powerful silver mining company that's going to be existing. And so Eric Sprott became a very powerful person when that stock price went up a ton, and he was holding most of it. So
who's Eric? I thought Diane was the CEO.
Well, they're in a partnership.
Oh,
so
he's the face.
Yeah, I'm not sure on like the specific titles of their leaders, but these are all like board members plus, so like the privileged leaders on their board. And
wow.
So, yeah, that's pretty much the points I just wanted to hit on the arbitrage. Like we already kind of covered some of the Hycroft stuff, but I saw you pass up the slide for MULN.
Yeah, this is when you want. We were talking about this last time.
And this is why I don't think AMC is going to keep doing reverse stock splits, because look what happened to MULN's graph and then the company, and it's just like a laughing stock.
It was worth 83 trillion and now it's worth 6 cents.
It wasn't. It's like, you know how AMC's chart changed to $700 because it did a 10x split? Well, this company did like 100 split, 100 split, 100 split, 100 split. So they multiplied that number by like 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. So it was never worth that much, but it's like the whole graph just looks messed up.
Wow. Yeah.
As the company just split itself into the ground with probably there was an installed CEO who just like ran the company to the ground, and this is how he did it. And they'll use different leverage.
On purpose? I don't even get it. Like, talk to me. I didn't even pay attention to this. I was like,
this is a company committing suicide. Like, look at it.
On purpose, you think, or with no choice?
It's the leadership got planted and bought out, and then they ran the company in the ground. Like other companies have done this, like Toys R Us before their chapter bankruptcy, but they didn't necessarily do it with stock splits. They'll either like just fire all their employees and let the stores waste money, or like order inventory terribly, or like just whatever they can do to mess that company up. Like, so then like billionaires will plant leaders on companies to take over the company and then buy their bags, and then just let their bags collapse in some company that they just bought to shell out their risk. And then they get to walk away with stealing the company while they let the company implode with their mismanaged risk. And that's all that's the game of the banks this whole time. That's the
Evan, you need to make a game in the future where people can play out this stuff and then learn it through to actually doing it, because some of this is so complicated.
Well, you can do
how did you learn all this?
Leaders, but those aren't fun exactly. So
it will be, but if with the right team, it could be. No one thinks farming's fun, and yet freaking everyone's playing Farmville or whatever. So
yeah, but now
Farmville,
that's an irony that is like, man, I would farm probably, but like, I can't even afford a house. So like the reality doesn't line up with the limitations and stuff, and it should and has in the past, but now it's like there's only bills to like, let's just build a ton of apartments all over America, and we're not going to fund any houses. We're just going to let the bubble be big. And then now no old people can sell their houses and no young people can get a house. And so like nobody's happy because.
Wait, to summarize, MULN, basically it was like a company that started off legit or never was probably legit. And they were basically a purposeful seller boxing.
All of this activity happened since 2021. So I think it's a leverage of baskets since GameStop, but like, it's a car manufacturing company, but it's like not big like the big names that you would know, like Toyota or Ford or Chevy or whatever, like Mitsubishi, Mercedes. Like there's a lot of big car companies, but then like, I don't know, you can go look at the company yourself and just see what you think. But like, this is true things that happen. And look, all these stock splits happen in 2024 and 2025. Like the company just is like, let's just commit suicide.
Right. And who was it? Patrick Byrne that said companies are worth more going bankrupt than thriving. And once people learn that, or blah, blah, something like that.
Kind of like that sound like a play on like, yep, NVIDIA, the AI future, it just should be worth 10 trillion and double every year. But GameStop should just be worth nothing. And it doesn't make any sense at that point because it's like, no, there's a place for both. But now you're skewing it in a way where it's like, whoa, why is NVIDIA worth everything and GameStop worth nothing? It's like, what's going to happen if that corrects? Because
right,
it's the gravity thing. It's like if you're going to inflate something so big for so high, you're going to have to print more and more money just to maintain it until when? We're going to print $40 trillion more just next year just to keep NVIDIA at the top?
The quote is, on Wall Street, there are people who figured out how to make more money from a company dying than from it living.
Right. And then that's like the bad energy into society manifested so big. It's just culture now. And now it's like, oh, if you're not a horrible person, there's no place for you. So like,
yeah,
no, apes are about to just stand our ground now because like that's crap. And until it's not crap anymore, we're going to stand here. And that's where
I've had people argue to me like, well, hedge funds are important and like shorting companies keeps the economy healthy and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just like MSNBC.
Yeah, they should be shorting freaking OnlyFans and like bring morality back into freaking.
Yeah.
Instead, it's the biggest funder of APAC and they're funding us to go bomb Iran right now to hide their crap.
Right, let's save the world.
Like, and I don't like to get mad. And I'm just passionate about it, but it's like, dude, it's so off the chain because this all should have been done like years and years ago. We're just sitting in shit because of it. It doesn't have to be like this. And then
yeah, that's what I'm thinking all the time. I'm like,
they're just like supporting OnlyFans or whatever. Like, it's just so stupid. Whether you're being a part of it or funding it, like it just don't. And it's so far gone. Like that's why
I don't know. I've only ever seen the homepage of OnlyFans, and it's like, come with me while I travel to blah, 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 or like, check out da-da-da. And so from the surface, it looks like a total like YouTube, like,
I feel like
book, but
I'm
then
a horrible person now because I've become what I hate, like buying GameStop to like make money to like I've become a capitalist. And if capitalism leads to this, it's not good. But like, there's things that have to be fixed because like, it's all these things we're hitting. Okay, so you have gold pulled up here.
Yeah.
And you can see the nature that gold moves. So like on the bottom left corner where it shows that
whoa.
It's like gold moved up, leveled off,
and the dollar's lost value.
GameStop's gonna do a same gold the same move gold did. Like it's gonna just go up again like a ton, like that scale where it's gonna you'll be able to draw a red line from tip to tip on the GameStop.
I saw something that like minimum wage should be like $240 if we kept being tied to the gold, and now everyone's like $20 is too much. It's like, gah!
I mean, I'm waiting tables still now because like I'll make like $400 a day in cash where it's now I don't have to pay federal taxes on it. And then, so I literally could not take a job that pays like less than $100K a year now because it doesn't make sense. I'll be taking a pay cut to do it anywhere. So if I go work in finance for less than that, it's like I'm shooting myself in the foot when I can just make cash waiting tables and then buy stock. Like, right. So not only has like AI cause mass layoffs as a front for the financial failure coming to the public right now, but now those jobs aren't going to like reappear after this. So anyone who's not holding GameStop and has gotten laid off is going to be underwater about the new landscape. And it's so sad because this is where you get like anyone who's like trying to retire with pensions or 401ks that have been mismanaged or mutual funds that are tethered to whatever risk that is now. The SEC and the DTCC are doing so many horrible things by like for them to like hold XRP in contempt or whatever for like years and years and years while they like litigate Bitcoin. And like, so that's why I think they're plugging risk into Bitcoin and they're gonna let that thing collapse. And they're gonna hurt a lot of tethered coin holders. And like, while it stood as a value against inflation, now banks are scrambling for precious metals. And I think that crypto is going to collapse as like a lot of these real hard assets are recalled and new government sanctions are put on the table. Like they're either going to confiscate everyone's gold again or like revalue a new money print as the reigning currency that's actually regulated. So they're going to revalue like everything, and banks are going to go on a holiday for a couple of weeks and just reopen. And if you're not using the new currency, they're not going to take your old cash or Bitcoin or nothing. It's just going to be like the new operative unit for like businesses. And it because they overprinted the US dollar, it's going to turn into Venezuelan money soon. And they're not just going to like stop printing it. Trump's even saying he's like, Bitcoin going to be the solution to US debt. And then, yeah, if they tether US debt, all obligations into Bitcoin and liquidate Bitcoin holders and pay GameStop people, then the whole thing concludes. And so like, I'm not saying it's all going to come from Bitcoin, but a lot of these have inflated their companies in the last 15 years using the dark pool Bitcoin. And then it's got regulated.
I don't know. I've already sold all my Bitcoin. I didn't have too much ever, but once I heard it might be connected to like Epstein and even made by him, I was like, that's, I don't know. I just like holding stuff that I like totally know I believe in.
Oh man, the short should have just said that GameStop funded Epstein and then the company would have went bankrupt already, but it's not true. And then, but like
we forgot to say this isn't financial advice at the beginning.
Any narratives. Oh, well.
But so far, this isn't financial advice, except for the fact I just sold. I realize the fact I said that, but
you said it in the first one, and this is part 2. Okay, but we covered it there. You said it. So we'll pull that up in court if we're getting sued for financially advising somebody wrong with this information. But
so far, we haven't talked about anything investment-wise other than my comment just then. I'm not a financial professional. Just a simple tutor.
Okay, so this one is talking about treasuries and gold.
Oh, yeah, and treasury bonds are when the government borrows money from people at an interest rate, which is a treasury yield.
And for people to buy those, it's like people's faith in government. And so you can see that's just been declining over time until it basically doesn't exist now, while gold's peaking. So, well, and maybe not even peaking. We don't know the gold will go until they revalue the dollar. It's going to run up until the dollar gets pegged to something else, because unless they stop printing money, then we might see gold recede and the US dollar gain a lot of strength. But we're not going to stop printing money. That's already like off the chain. Unless the debt gets cleared or the new unit appears, then we'll be more stable. But that's where they fix the bottom line, and then the card house had to collapse, and then we build from the bottom. But the system's going to run as long as it can before that happens, and that's what we're seeing.
So how much longer can it run? I know I'm asking that same question. Oh, so remember last? I was like, by the way, I've been waiting.
The market can remain irrational longer than you can stay solvent, and they're talking about the average investor. 99% of people lose money because they buy in and sell before they like do what Warren Buffett did. And they might have been right, but then they might have missed opportunity by like not having the right psychology about it. So there really is a lot that plays into it, and why it takes so long, and why they've been able to win this hard and get.
Yeah, I guess 5 years isn't that long in the grand scheme of things.
Right, like Warren Buffett held Coca-Cola for
like
35 years before it was like worth what it was, which is cool to see, because like I don't really want to sell my GameStop.
No, never. I literally never want to, and I want to see like I think they're gonna go out like dividends and like.
Right, we would even have to sell it at some point. So like.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you just take a loan against it, and then I don't know. I feel like I just like if I never ever sell in my whole life.
Retiring with one share isn't a joke, because like, dude, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway is like $850K for one share right now.
Dang,
and all GME has to do is manage his company well as that.
And when did it start at? Has that happened in our lifetime?
Kind of
unbelievable.
We were born when he already had the position, so like, because we're like in our 30s, so if he held Coke for 33 years, he already owned it before I was born. So like, but
well, let's see.
he only became like a super mega billionaire like lately, like post 2008, as like that's when just inflation went off the chain. So like he like slowly got richer, and then it just exploded near the end here where we're at, where the 40 trillion has appeared in the last 16 years, like, and just it all went to the top. So like, and it just their money compounding doubled over as they, and that's why it's like they're not just printing money. There's only $2 trillion in circulation for all American citizens to share in the country, but we're over leveraged to like $650 trillion in derivatives. So like banks are allowed to just like, oh no, you can't buy a house even for cash now because we're rigging the market, but you can rent for $1,500.
Right. Give me a break.
Bullshit, stupid, as they just build rent farms for everybody and stop litigation for building houses, and then like pay for candidates to sit there and argue about who's the gayest instead of fucking fixing anything. And here we are. It's revolution time. I've been calling for it.
It's MOASS time.
Do the revolution, but like it's time. Like the writing's time. And then I'll bring up the Luigi thing again because that's what the healthcare CEO. He went and pretty much gunned down a healthcare CEO in the street because the healthcare CEO would never have seen his crime.
I'm like, hold on. I feel like, wait a minute. The way you're talking, I'm like, wait a minute. This is like a crime. You're like, okay, you know what? We're gonna need to be like Luigi. I'm like, hold on.
No, I'm not calling for like violence, but what he
like January 16th or something. Like, everyone go to Citadel, run.
And it's just that kind of stuff. Like, there's riots all the time about causes and stuff, but then the media.
So let's all go to the shareholder meeting, the annual shareholder meeting together, and in our GameStop attire. Okay.
Right. It's more passive
That's what I
stuff
want to do.
like apes are already doing.
Yeah. Happy hype.
And that matters to the point. It's like, man, if you watch Game of Thrones, it's like 8 seasons of like, there's this one girl and she's like freeing all the slaves, and like she's renowned because she has dragons and she is not taking shit from nobody, and she's freeing the people who have been oppressed.
That's us. That's the apes.
But then at the end, she goes to the city of that evil queen who I was telling you about, who just, I'm rich, I'm going to step on everybody. And then all the people there just support her blindly. So she ends up like burning the whole city down because they all suck and they were a cancer of society. And like, it was almost righteous that she did it, but then she ends up getting killed because some people were like, oh, you're a mass murderer now. But really she saved humanity by like ending the bad regime. But it's like a bittersweet thing, so that's where I feel like I'm becoming the enemy too. Cause to take these guys out, you have to turn into them to kill them. Like, so, and I don't mean kill them, but like, if we're going to end banks, we have to end them with the same leverages they've been using on us. So what, we're going to gain leverage through GameStop, and then we're going to be the banks. So that's why it's scary. And if we have families that hand the wealth down and they don't know where it came from and they squander it, we're just going to be here again in 80 years. So it's like, well,
like I said 100 times, that's why we need to make freaking TV shows and movies and media and games that reteach these values. Because I mean, how did you end up here? How did I end up here? Because I was always reading the freaking the book, the children's book of virtues, you know, and like all these kind of put your values first type things, you know.
But now they're book burning all those things from the past generation, so they'll just do it again in the future, like until they keep propaganda again to a certain extent. So it's always like the same weaponization of psychology, like over time. That's why like history repeats. It rhymes, but it's a little different. Like there's gonna be another GameStop, but like in 100 years, and it's gonna just smell different. It's just not gonna be like GameStop. It's gonna be like whatever.
GameSpot. No, I don't know. What do we do?
It might not even be video games. Like, it was already.
I just like being optimistic.
So the super cycles are condensing. Like if we're talking about 100-year short squeeze, and one just happened in 2008 with Volkswagen, and now it's like a video game company just a shorter time later. And video game company, probably, I wouldn't be surprised if when GameStop squeezes, like Volkswagen still squeezes, because there's probably still shit about it.
Wow.
Like somewhere on
I'm ready for it.
Okay, so go forward a couple slides. Yeah, that one. Okay. So we kind of mentioned FTX, and so this is a picture of.
This one I totally 1,000% don't understand. And then I started looking at this and I was like, well, let's get into it next episode.
Okay.
I think you have like so much amazing information. It's just like.
I know. I just want to like cover the visuals real quick because like I can skim it real quick where I can drop points. But like,
yeah.
So this image is where GameStop was halted. So you can see where the volume comes in only every 5 minutes where I circled it.
Oh, that's a lot of halts, right? I mean,
yeah,
there's like nothing
over on the way up, and you can see like the price action while that was happening. They never halted on the way down, only on the way up for our protection.
Jerk.
While word on the street is there's massive short positions underlying. It's like it's all crap.
Jerk alert.
Okay, so then AMC at the exact same time. Look at this, the congruencies. Like this is why that these companies are tethered together asymmetrically, like, and that's a good thing for both companies. If they were symmetrically tethered together and then it looked like it does, yes, AMC would just be about to declare bankruptcy and dying. But since they're asymmetrically connected, we can identify the leverages being used against AMC, and that's why that's not the case, is because this company is surviving and it's going to survive because like it has all the leverages it needs to maintain its current position for 5 more years. Its cash bleed's not that high. It has good credit with its creditors. We can just sit here at the bottom of this seller box forever and still live. And then that's what the bears are afraid of. They don't want people to recognize that as a strength. They would rather everyone be afraid. But really, you can see how these companies are tethered together. Like they're both going to rip so freaking hard when they do. And so can you click the zombie stock link?
Yeah.
Okay, so
BB liquidating is what?
That is, yes, Blockbuster liquidated still as a ticker in the penny stock market now or whatever, pink sheets or something like that. But you can only buy this if you're an insider or whatever. And then so like banks go behind the scenes and the company declared bankruptcy, go also all the way down to zero almost.
And then they have it as like a collateral. They have it in the portfolio, and then whenever they need, they pump it up and then put it back down.
They'll just own the whole thing pretty much, and then they'll never close the obligations, and they'll just keep rolling them, but in their own name. So they never have to close the obligations, which would cause the company to spike up and like. So yes, they'll just use them as leverage pumps, and so you can see it here. That's where I was talking about. It went up infinity percent. It went up 4,300%. But you can see where it says,
whoa, infinity percent.
Literally can do whatever number they need. They can pump it up to infinity if they freaking need to, and they will. And so it's like they're going to put it exactly where they need it. And then so they're going to over leverage anyone who ever make a rational decision so they win. Then they're going to print 3 times as much money than they should to beat you, even if you're right, because they're going to keep betting over and over and over that you're wrong, and then go also fuck the company up, excuse my language, but so that
okay, you're doing a really good job
that they become right.
This one.
So yeah, you can see the company was seller boxed. This is what the graph looks like. It looks just like the reverse stock split one, but this one was done not with reverse stock splits. It was done with other levels. Right.
This makes no sense.
Yeah,
wow.
Zoom out and see the other spikes that were way bigger.
Right. If that's 4,000%,
the stock price would
more.
Yeah, and then they'll look bigger. It's just messed up everywhere. It's just gonna. But you can see that it's like the leverage was cycling there. This is cycled leverage, and they're condensing it as.
I'm laughing. I'm like, what if we check the stock price for GameStop right now or AMC, and suddenly it's spiking? We're like, oh my gosh, it started spiking during our show, but probably not.
No, we're not roaring kitty. Sorry.
It would just be a coincidence. That was interesting though when he did go live and then he was saying different things and watching the charts respond to what he was saying.
Yeah, and some of that is like swap rollovers that he has already identified because he bought good call contracts right on their leverage, like Achilles heel. So like that's why it exploded when it did with his position in 2021. And then when he came back the second time, I think that was the midpoint of
all this.
they did like one final reswap during that week, and he knew it was coming, so he went and like trolled them on the live stream. And then now we're gonna wait because a certain amount of time happened from 2021 to then, and now we have to wait from that point the same amount of time to pass again, and we're almost there again. And that's where
I'm like, by the way, look how nice everyone was back 4 years ago when you figured this out. And like now it's all like, I don't have time to read this. Why do you still believe in AMC? That's like,
yeah.
Like, look at the comments on, oops. I'm like, anyway, it's just funny because like now the comments are like, I'm not reading all that. This is delusional. You get a job. You know what I mean? Everyone's so rude and they used to be so nice, but I'm not even on Reddit anymore.
But Reddit stock is just up tenfold. Like it just as they took awards away, like Roaring Kitty had the most rewarded post ever, and they had to like remove the whole reward system just so his post was like it's why the whole company now that's like an underlying of the whole company's mission at this point. Like continue hiding what happened with GameStop. Like Reddit can't operate as like a free.
I feel like we're living in GameStop and AMC's world. You know what I mean? Like
it
like
is like that
BC.
now.
We're in like BC. You know what I mean?
It still sucks because they're like not wealthy yet, but yes, they did like stake a claim here with what's going on in that sense that you're describing.
Some of these things I say though, I'm like, I literally sound like a crazy person, but it's like, no, you're just informed.
Yeah, but that was just a little insight into leverages that like the specific leverage they're using. So if you go to the next slide, I got a couple links.
Oh yeah. I'm like, oh my God, give me a break. I didn't even look at any of these because
don't feel overwhelmed. Just can you click through the top one? We'll go through them in order real quick. I just want to hit a couple.
Can we get into these like more in depth another time too? Because I really love to get into all this stuff in depth.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
So in this one,
but I didn't even look at these.
This image, just read that.
Super PACs, which are basically like I don't even know what's a freaking super PAC. It's like a bunch of money that goes to politicians.
Political action committee. It's so like they're like, let's organize our own group. And it's two people. And then they go get it like sanctioned. And they're like, oh, we're an organization now. And now
let's start one.
And we can take money and give it to political candidates we like. And then so Microsoft comes along and they're like, oh, I'm not allowed to donate money as a big private company. So I can give it to this super PAC, and then you can give it to the donor that I want.
Got it.
And so they just funnel unlimited money to political candidates. They're planting officials where they need them now. The billionaires bought out the government in 2010, right after 2008, when they were re-leveraging gold and silver the whole time. And so it's just obvious what these insiders are doing. They leverage the whole system. And through the politics,
I bet they were like, this name sounds cool, and the common folk will love it. Super PAC, let's go. Dun, dun. It's like the Powerpuff Girls.
Well, and they talk about these.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, they used to be illegal, and they are in most countries. So it just
see?
Everyone's so dumb. We can just get this law on the table.
They were like, let's go, Super PAC, yeah. That's me when I hear it.
So while that's bad news, look into like a history of super PACs and PACs, because this goes way back into like
it'll piss me off
dicks over time, but it's like you'll see why it's bad when you see some of these other things. So
wait, it started in 1971, then 5 years later they already restricted it.
Yeah,
whatever. I'll have to look into this sometime.
I include some history there, but there's more if you'll scroll down farther. Okay, yeah, you can see like these are.
What's this?
This is the laws. It's like you can't donate more than this to a political candidate
unless you're in a super PAC.
Yeah, and the super PACs just get unlimited. So like only so I can only donate 3,000, and then I'm just at the limit, and I can't support my candidate anymore because it's not fair to other voters. And
but didn't Elon Musk give like 25 million per month?
Exactly, that's fucking crime.
Was he part of a super PAC?
It's all crime.
Was he a super PAC?
It's legalized now, so it's just not crime. But no, it's treason, dude. That is so.
But who was he in a super PAC with someone?
They all are through their charities and their private network of companies. They're donating money out the back door somewhere to a.
It's just such a good name, though. Honestly, you can't deny it. It's like the more I say it, it's really fun to say.
Okay, look at that.
You don't know what it is. Well, I'll probably regret saying that later.
That picture right there, that's the reverse repossession since COVID. And
wait, explain this.
Look at the timeline.
And that's only up till 2024.
That's the Fed repo chart, right? And now we're down.
Oh, that means
back
how
to
much
zero.
money they're holding overnight. I looked
Now
into this one.
back down to zero. So the meme stock swap has about been completed. That they've been swapping since 2021. So if the next move about to rip, this is the timeline. Like
And this is how much money will be involved and how much money has been suppressing.
And now in 2026, it's all the way just about back down to zero. Like it is just
This
about.
was when Trump was in office, and that was before, and that's money they were printing, right? And then this shows like all the money being held overnight that they had nothing to do
Not
with.
necessarily printing. This is federal repo. So it's going to be like where they repossess cash on hand that banks had. So
I don't understand that.
it has to do with leveraging and then collateral. So now banks have to post other forms of collateral. And this is where like inflating housing comes into the picture because
Oh yeah.
prices went up because banks had to like not have cash because it got all repossessed by the Fed so they could move cash. And then but they had to maintain their positions. So they're like, oh, we need housing prices to double because we're over leveraged that far. So then they double the price of housing.
Whoa.
So that they're like, look, we still have $100 billion of collateral, even though they only have 50 billion in housing, and then they lost all their cash, and then they just double the price of housing to qualify. And now that's why when housing comes down a little bit, it's going to drown some banks. They're going to collapse.
Oh, that's why they say like when the tide comes in, everyone's who's not wearing shorts or whatever.
The whole card house falls just in the housing bubble, which is going to affect other leverages, which AI bubble, housing bubble, means it's all going to happen like in one consecutive card house fall because they're all tied together. Housing should never have been idiosyncratically tied to GameStop's short bet that banks just thought was a good idea to think GameStop would declare bankruptcy during COVID. Because like, come on, they've been trying to steamroll companies through this operation that they run, but then they're going to shut everyone down and be like, all y'all can do is stay home and play video games. Oh, but by the way, we're going to attack video games right now while everyone's using them. Not like they should have shorted in like 2008 and took GameStop before COVID. Like, you know, if they were going to do some shit. But
right.
And it just, COVID is where shit hit the fan, where policy had to come now catch up to a broken market. And then now we're seeing the repercussions of this because policy has to follow the market until like the market runs them both off a cliff. And we're getting to the point now where Trump's like, I'm not trying to lead this government off a cliff with that. So he's taking all the steps to kind of like organize things. And then the media will just bash him all day, but he's done some good things. Like the first thing he did was make animal abuse illegal, like which should have been already like right when he took office the second term. Cause like, I don't know, there was bad stuff on the internet before. It's been scrubbed like so bad, especially Google. Like we talk about the result search changes, but it used to be able to search and it would pull up like 1 million results, and now it'll only pull up like 2 pages of results, like on some topics. So, okay, click through the next link back on the PowerPoint. Yes, algorithm chunks. Okay, so here this is the Volkswagen graph is the pink one, and the AMC graph is the black one. And you can see the shape.
Oh, wow.
That I drew in the middle, the orange thing with the 2 black arrows. This is the swap shape. It's when they open and close contracts, whether in new accounts that they move them. And then it's like inverse asymmetrically related. Like I show the 2 arrows kind of like going apart. So this is why AMC went down and GameStop went up. Because they just flip that sideways and one goes up, one goes down per this leverage. And so you can see parts that I circled here. Like, so look at the bottom 2 pictures.
Whoa.
Like,
you flipped them upside down. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
And then they look, it's the same moves. It was like a position closed, re-leveraging, position open, or position open, re-leveraging, position closed. And
how did you notice this stuff? Like, were you just looking through and you're like, wait a minute, if I flip this upside down, like, I'm like, really quick, how in the world did you figure this out?
it's because mathematically AMC should have exploded right then, but instead they put a reverse split on the table, which should make the price go up. And then it just went down like tenfold. So there had to be like some crazy shit going on. So like I just deep dove into like what the heck just happened. And then the media would be like, oh, it was the ape unit that did all of that. But no. The ape unit was like on the opposite side of the front where it would make the price go down, but not that much. Right. So like it just, once you see through that, the short and distort lie, then so this happened in 3 moves. So on the top 2 pictures, I circled in green the swap shape, and then I circled in red the event. And then I circled in, or the blue arrow number 3 is the effect of the event. So as time went on, you can see they had the same swap shape, AMC and Volkswagen. This is Volkswagen in 2008, and then AMC when they did the reverse stock split. So after the same swap shape, or maybe an asymmetric swap shape, we have an inverse event. So it shows that they did 2 magnitudes of leveraging. So while they had the ape unit to hide behind dilution, and then they stock split to go down, they were running like arbitrage from ape to AMC up to that point when the obligations got smashed back together when they combined. And then Adam Aaron even gave extra shares to the people who were still holding ape when it was combined. Like it was like a 7-for-1 bonus share or something like that, if you remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think it was 7-for-1 because I feel like we would definitely remember that. But
it was like 7.5 for 1. Like every 7 shares,
really?
you got a free extra share back when they combined. And I got a bunch of them. I was already like buying and holding.
That was before I was watching all the PP show stuff, and because I would have been like 7-for-1. But I still don't understand like what is a swap. I think I need to go research what is a swap and then come back next time and be like, okay.
Renew contract. So if I bet GameStop will go up in 1 year, and then a whole year passes and it didn't go up yet, I'm like, oh, let me just renew these contracts. And now I think GameStop won't go bankrupt for 1 more year. We'll go up in 1 more year. So like before I hit my deadline, I just extend the deadline on the call. And then, so while my original call would have expired worthless, if I extend the call, now it's still a good call. And so what the contracts that they don't close, they'll roll like this until like now we got contracts that were called in 2021 that should already had to close, but they've been extended and extended and extended, and they'll just keep renewing them before the deadline over and over. But then there's limits to that, and the deadline gets shorter and shorter, and as like more pressure, and they pay interest and the unleveraging in certain places. And then that's why the risk is so bad now, because they're all playing this game while like one housing market collapse could just like unleverage everybody and the whole thing goes up. So that's why they have to keep printing so much.
Like, give me a break. Is the housing collapse really going to be a reason for another chaotic event? Like, didn't we already been there, done that in 2008? But no, apparently they didn't even do anything about it in 2008. They just pretended to.
Yeah, and then we have
give me a break. We already had that issue, right?
We're getting more taxes than ever right now, and like we just have a submissive population who will get the vaccine if they say do it. So like they would have fought the Boston Tea Party over like a small increase in taxes back then, while we're getting taxed like 40%, and then we're all just like, all right, this is fine. Like it's just, we're lost, dude. We're cooked. OnlyFans is APAC's largest donor, dude. We can't come back from that. Like we are so cooked. So I'm still optimistic.
Ignorance is bliss, Deven. I'm still like, okay. Quit talking about all this stuff. It's so depressing.
Okay, scroll down.
But don't actually quit talking about it. It's fine. But it's really depressing.
Okay, this is Citibank after some stock splits. But look at that.
I don't know. This is like a foreign language to me. I still don't quite get it. But okay. I do see like a big drop.
So when Citibank Their
Were they
market cap,
faking it and then they finally got caught?
say their market cap went up to like 500 million or whatever. Like it went all the way up and you see it plateauing and then it goes down a lot. Well, they did a stock split right there. So then their company still worth 500 million, but the graph looks really low. And it didn't change their company. But then when AMC did the stock split, the value of the company literally got 10 times lower, which shows that the weight of their short pressure leverage, like the company shouldn't have lost all that value. AMC should still just be a $4 billion company right now instead of a $500 million company. But it like pressed the graph down the same way. Like AMC split looks the same.
I don't quite get this, but I guess like an analogy, like I really don't understand a lot of this, and even look at this, I'm like, I don't quite get it. But I feel like it's almost like, but at least I do get one thing, that it's almost like there was like a soccer game, right? And there was like a soccer game playing, and suddenly they're like, we need a timeout. And then the best player switches out his cleats. And then suddenly something happens where they start losing or whatever. And they're like, oh my God, they're losing because he changed his cleats. And it's like, what? No, like he just changed his cleats. Like that doesn't matter at all. And so basically like, or I don't know, so maybe some like crazy thing happened and, you know, like, I don't like some kind of crazy evil thing happened, but they're like, it was the cleats. And they're like, no, dude, he just changed one shoe to another. That's kind of what you're saying about like the AMC ape split is like, it shouldn't have had that effect, but they're like, oh, it's because of ape. You know what I mean? They just found some random excuse to drop the price. Like kind of they're doing all the time. And like,
yeah. And then they are like
bait and switch or something.
Several years committed to that lie. So,
yes,
like,
that's what I'm saying. So it was like a lie that they're committing to.
They just put that in their bags and they were like, oh, another day.
It was ape.
Now that their bag is that much more diluted with heavy stuff they're going to have to deal with here. And yeah, the company is still alive. So it's very scary for them to still be holding these things.
And it ain't going anywhere. We're holding.
Show you the scale. Like that city stock split was right after 2008. So it's like the right after GameStop squeeze, AMC does one. Right after 2008, Citibank does one. So
you're like saying stuff that like,
AMC is going to be like a bank. They were doing their own credit and then their own. They were taking crypto for a while and then just immediately converting it to cash. It's like AMC has experience in dealing with a lot of these like the tokenization stuff that's about to come. Remember, they found 8 quadrillion FTX authenticated wrap tokens.
Right.
So they were ready to use that many tokens. And then we'll get into that when I pull it up in one of these links here.
By the way, I have about 45 minutes left that I can meet today. And
Gotcha.
then I have a couple interviews and some things.
Cool. Yeah, just let me
I
know.
wish I had freaking 8 more hours because this is all like fascinating.
Okay, so I just want you to note the shape, the yellow lines. You see how the
bull flag, bear flag?
You see how it points down?
Yeah.
Okay, scroll down.
It's a bull flag.
Right.
I had 50-50 chances.
Okay.
What's this? What do you mean?
Keep scrolling down.
Okay. HYMC. Oh, okay. And then it popped.
You see how this one's pointed down twice? Like the two.
That's because you drew 2 lines.
The 2 yellow circles.
Oh, 3 lines.
On the top. Not the very first yellow circle, but the 2 close to each other on the spikes on the top. Going to like the trajectory on the bottom. And then all the way down at the bottom where the price went down, it popped again a little bit. And then I did the top to the bottom again. And so it's a double bull flag. This is a bull flag within a bull flag. In silver. This is the
okay. I'm like, doesn't probably GameStop and AMC have like 100 bull flags inside of them at this point?
That's what I'm highlighting here. So
the flag shop.
Keep going down.
Flag. Is there some word like flag? Yeah.
Okay, this is silver, like one of the largest silver trusts. So this is without the mining company manipulation. Still a bull flag. It just hasn't closed yet because this is such a long-term flag. But you can see the shape where the triangle will converge under the midpoint.
Right.
So keep going down. That's why the pressure is up on these companies. So I explain it there. So keep going down. I have examples of like other ones. Okay, this shows the scale of silver swapping when they roll over. Sometimes they'll do it in groups. So they do a large one, then a smaller one, and so it'll ripple through the stock graph like you see here. But it went from $18 to $24. That's a 25% move. And then it just reenacted like the same pattern in the same year, just like a few months later. So you can see like patterns of swapping. Go down more. Okay, so this is Bitcoin doing the same thing, the same exact thing happening in Bitcoin. And you can see the volume bars. So keep going down.
Oh, look at those volume bars. So basically you're saying like these like spikes and stuff that don't make sense like for any normal reason are actually like swaps happening.
Yeah. Okay, that's a Bed Bath & Beyond before it was. This is when they were seller boxing it. They swapped it into the seller box. That's when Ryan Cohen.
That happened pretty fast, by the way.
Circle is when Ryan Cohen exited the company. And then the company just, right. And then now it's still under litigation for the Chapter 11 organization. Okay, this is GameStop. You see how it's still a down shaping pendant? Like the point of the triangle converges below the midpoint. Like it's an acute triangle facing downward heavy. So go down now. Oh yeah, go down a little more. Yeah,
okay.
That's zoomed in on it there, but
no, I'm not.
That's just short sale volume. We see like anomalies like this in that company all the time, while it's still a heavy bottom bull flag. And so this is the VIX, the volatility index. So it's slightly skewed down. It's such a long-term bull flag, but it's skewed down kind of the same way, like right under the midpoint, but it should be at equilibrium. So like, that's why the spikes make sense, because it's like trading in that channel. That's the channel of the VIX.
Okay.
Go back up to the VIX real quick. So probably that's the volatility.
Like thumbs up if you guys are understanding this or not.
If this, I think in the meme stock squeeze, it's not going to be like, oh, the volatility index squeezes to 1 billion also. It's going to like go up to the top line and then stay there. It's just
right.
Very volatile for a period of time before it comes back down.
Right.
I just wanted to kind of like highlight like the nature of this MOASS that we're going to be talking about. So yes, keep going down the S&P 500. Okay.
Bear flag?
Very bear flag, because you can see if, I think I zoom in on it, go down a little bit.
I'm just guessing.
Yes. So the dark blue.
Right.
The triangles converge so top heavy that it's unsustainable. It's almost about to like, if it just keeps going up, it's not going to be a triangle. It's just going to open the flag at the top, which is like unlimited risk. Like it's completely unsustainable. It's where all fundamentals are gone. This shows that fundamentals are being extremely pushed to the extremes right now because the triangle hasn't broke, but it's like maxed out pretty much. And you can see now when the S&P 500 has been hitting 7,000, it's kind of falling off now. It's like a slow curvature I think it's going to turn down soon here as like the market starts to fall off. And I don't know how extreme that's going to be, but we can get an idea from some of these other graphs that we looked at. And then I think that's all I wanted to hit on this one. That one real quick. Money supply. You see those two graphs? That's like when money printing went off the chain. That's how much money we
insane. I mean, look at like what in the world kind of chart is this? And then you're like, oh, it's the money printing chart? Like this is insane.
Right. You can tell they just changed one law and then they just printed a ton. Like, so they're legally doing it, but what's legal is not what's good for people. It's just like rigging, and then it's just illegal now because they need
to be Robin Hood. Just kidding. That's why Robin Hood's lame too. They stole they're taking all the words
and they named themselves after like an old hero. So
right, give me a break.
Part of the psychology.
Okay, are we going through more of these?
Yes, HCMC mechanics of a seller box.
All right.
I explain it with just scroll down to the image because I can explain it verbally. So it's
Should I do a picture one by one?
Go to the next one. Okay, you see how when you buy it, if you go try to buy this stock, it's for 0.0001.
Okay.
That's as high as the stock ever goes. And then if you go to the next picture, and see how it goes up to 0.3 zeros and a 1, but then it goes down to 5 zeros and a 1. So this company just flies up and down between these two limits all day, every day. And when you go on Fidelity or whatever, or any brokerage, the lowest possible order you can put as a bid is 3 zeros and a 1, 0.001. So you can only buy this company at the top. You cannot go any lower. But then banks can just go fill orders for themselves at the low. So anyone who ever buys this company, they always lose. And then if you call them and ask,
What
like,
the heck?
this company,
Who's the CEO?
they can't even talk about this company. Like, they just won't talk about it. They'll just sit there silent on the line.
It still exists?
Won't talk about it. Yeah, and it's just an arbitrage tool. It's not an actual company.
This? They have a website?
Yeah, and like, look at the market cap.
Book an appointment? They're a clinic? Oh, I didn't look at the market. I'm getting all distracted looking at random stuff about them.
It's called Healthier Choices Management Corp.
Oh, no, that's probably not them. That's not
This
them.
is like a key example of just like complete arbitrage fake company crap.
481,000?
Yeah, it's not worth anything, but it just like you can only buy it at the top, and then so anyone who buys
What's
it,
this?
but they'll use it as leverage pumping for any money that they have stolen on it. It's a complete fraud.
What is this?
Company?
I don't know. Healthy Choice Markets? Is this them? I don't know. Let's
It's the MC. It said the ticker symbol in the description. They have all kinds of links and resources, and there's a whole community on Reddit, and no one knows what's going on with this company. But it's just like blatant arbitrage fraud. They don't even let you buy within their arbitrage limits. They just play around under the limit that you can buy at, because like you can't even go in and try and buy a stock for the lower limit because like it's not supported by the app. You
Insane.
Offer that low, but then they just only trade that stock lower than that.
And then probably if you went to court over it, they'd say like, you can't fight this.
Yeah, it would just get stuck in litigation. Probably still like every civil case with like MMTLP, and there's not a big company with direct register movement behind this company. So like, so it just became like an arbitrage tool for these guys. And I was saying there's like 20,000 publicly traded companies. How is that one of them? And if that's one of them, how many else of them are just all fake that they're doing that with to control?
Like you said, there's like 20,000 and probably 19,000 are fake.
That's what I'm saying.
What the heck is this freaking stock market? I'll tell you this. When I lived in China, I remember they were like, oh, no one here really buys stocks because like it's all fake. And I was like, oh yeah, in America it's not. And then you find out like it is. And I don't know. I heard someone once that like everyone's learning from America what you can get away with. And I'm like, what the heck?
But that company is flying up and down 9,900% every day. So that's the scale of the arbitrage. They steal our money and then pump it 9,900% every time.
Why is anyone buying it?
Well, I bought some because when I saw this, I bought a whole bunch of AMC and GameStop shares, and I had like 20 cents left in my account. So I was like, fuck it, I'm dumping 20 cents into this thing and buying like 10,000 shares for like 0.0.
And let's see if something happens with it. Maybe it'll pump with MOASS.
I think this is one of the ones that will just disappear and get liquidated with like Bitcoin and like a lot of these other fake stuff. Because if they're really going to fix the economy, that's what it's going to take. If Trump claims like, the best is yet to come, and then he still allows these things to exist, like the best ain't coming.
That ain't the best yet.
I don't know. He's going to have to face. He's going to have to come good on what he promised eventually, or like he's the biggest fraudster ever. So like, and it's hard to tell yet as like, because if his plan is as good as he says, and he implements long-term things, it takes a long time for them to roll into effect sometimes. So like, it's still a to see thing, and we have to just be patient.
Gah. I know.
But I just wanted to show you this fraud. You could check it out some more.
What's
looking
this
at the company.
random?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I was showing the upper limits and lower limits. So like,
Dude, you'd buy the whole company with that money.
well, you cannot offer more than $1 million for one share in that company. You just can't offer more than $1 million, no matter what. Even if you try and put the numbers
You
just
mean for
don't
one company?
platform. Right. So like, even if you wanted to, and I showed the lower limits too. I was just showing everything about that company. So it's like,
Bro,
that's
you've been talking about RuneScape for a while. You've had your eyes on Jagex since freaking 2 years ago.
Oh, it's because I played this game when I was a kid, and it was like the in-game gold, you can buy it with real money. And there's like bot farms that will sell it to you, and you can just like buy the in-game items and stuff. But it's like layer traded economy of items that the company goes in the background and like removes from the economy. So if you buy gold, you're cheating and they'll ban you. But it's like there's a whole black market economy on it. And it was the first cryptocurrency because people were buying this with real money in like 2001, like before Bitcoin even was on the table. And then like, so then since it's an economic simulator and it's managed by the company Jagex, it operates a market cycle in a shorter than real time, a 4-hour day cycle. So this happens about 7 times faster than it really would play out in real life. And then we're seeing rare items squeeze like this based on overprinting of US dollars. And that's why this graph is a crazy representation that this is reaching into digital realms now. And they're going to want to say like, oh, NFTs aren't worth anything. And tokenization, yada, yada, while like things like this are happening. Because what you're looking at is a video game item blowing up like 500,000.
Christmas Cracker is the name of the thing. And like that's, or what's this mean?
Yeah.
This is the entire marketplace.
It's a rare item that was only released on Christmas and then like discontinued.
Wait, this is one item?
Yeah, one item in the game.
Whoa.
Like just a rare item. And it's not even that rare because they like, the company had to come intervene during this and like change the rules and re-implement the item to crash the price. Because anyone who was holding any of these when this happened made so much money in game, it just broke the whole economy. No one can play because people are either hoarding this item or broke. So like no one, and then like this company has been fighting bots for so long. They have probably the best bot technology. So I was building bots to play this game like in 2000 because it was like they're called like injection bots. There's a few other ones, but you can write a script for your in-game character to do, and it's just a clicking simulator for Dungeons and Dragons. But it became like really popular because it had like real world economic like physics with the items in the game, and it was like free trade, and enough people play it there's a whole regulated in-game economy. So it was like not like other games back in the time. And then I just was showing that if you look in the comments of this post, there's so much litigation that the company's been doing, and so you can look through the rule changes they have to implement in game over time, and then court cases that the company's doing. And like, so I just follow the company and post all the updates here because it's like this is what a supply and demand fundamental market looks like. So
but now they're getting all their advertisements from OnlyFans.
They're having problems, because bots just come in and then like spam OnlyFans advertisements all over at the public market where you can just talk to people. So like you're trying to have a conversation with someone and then they're just spamming, follow my OnlyFans link like 10 times per second. Like, so it just floods the whole thing everywhere with just like bad advertising. And then that's even one of the rules, no in-game advertising. So you can report these people, but then the bots just go make 50 new accounts and they reappear.
Right.
So like, how do you beat that? Because the same thing happens like on Reddit and like, or other places on the internet. Bots is a huge problem. Like, while it's good to have bots because like you should automate as much as you can, which is like part of why jobs are changing through AI, but there's a bad side of the argument. Anyway, there's a lot of data there about that company if you want to look into it. But I just wanted to highlight that is like, this is a short scale a real supply and demand simulator. So the data is like really good coming out of that based on if you compare it to some of the stuff we're seeing in the market.
Right.
That kind of resource doesn't exist anywhere else that I know of. Okay, so that's it with the links.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, AMC volume. This is from 2018 to 2022, where there was roughly 500 million shares issued. Yet during this time period, 37 billion shares were traded. 37 billion shares were traded of a 500 million share company where Adam Aaron came out and said we own the 80% of the company between 5 million people or so, 5 million apes. And all we did was buy and hold and buy more and buy more and buy more and buy more and buy more. And since he came out and made that announcement, my position is about 40 times larger. And high volume like this doesn't support the fundamentals because, yeah, like you're seeing, if the float's only 500 million and then on January 2021, in that month, 5 billion shares traded, that means the company traded itself 10 times just in a month while we own all of it nearly. And so they must have been trading like 5 shares they did have back and forth 5 billion times to make the volume that high and keep the price where it was. That's called what, spoofing, or like spoofing orders is different, but that's a different one when they can like trade the stock back and forth over and over to like force arbitrage on whatever position they're holding. And so you see today that after a reverse split and the ape unit and now the company's sitting back around 500 million shares again. It's like almost come full circle. And you see them do like 100 million share offering, and we can do more. They're authorized to like 1 billion, but they're not. They're in their ammo because they want the share price to go up so they can make more money on the shares that they have available to sell. They don't want $1 right now. That hurts everybody.
Yeah.
No $1 dilution. But if they offer 100 million and the shares, and then the volume is 80 million shares for a whole week, those 100 million shares already got gobbled up. Like someone already bought all of them.
Yeah.
And then probably some short institution somewhere. And then it was like a private deal to a specific company for a specific reason. And we might not find that out for a long time until like forums come out and people backtrace dates to like what was happening. And that's all fine. It's like Ryan Cohen said, like, let him short, Adam Aaron just did the HYMC partnership with Eric Sprott, where AMC sold enough high crop mining to make all of its money back from entering the position. So now all the warrants and stock that it has were just like free. It just has them now because it like bought into the company for a little while. It was like a gift. So now if there's a silver arbitrage, AMC is going to be able to capitalize on it because the silver goes up, doubles again. And AMC is holding like 1 million warrants, for example. And those warrants are good to buy silver at like $10. So if the company is at like $60, $70, they're about to just get a massive discount, be able to flip immediate.
But like you said, they don't have enough cash right now, but also.
Yeah, but they have these and they're already way in the money.
Right.
So like, the stock price is like $50 right now, and AMC could just turn them over for 10 each.
That's cool. That's like the difference between holding a bunch of like apartments that are overvalued. This is like the opposite of that. And they're being undervalued.
Yeah, it's like they bought houses a long time ago, and now they still have them.
Yeah.
So like,
cool.
With that leverage,
but if they cash them in, they'd have to pay taxes on it or something like that. So, but also they have probably like a lot of losses. So they have NOLs and really quick.
Taxes isn't really a threat to AMC, especially because they were a recipient of the PPP loan. It wasn't a lot, but like they're still like recognized as receiving hardship during COVID or whatever. And then so like, not that directly affects their taxes, but like they're in the relief receiving group. Like they're not super tax burden right now over anything. So
Oh, this one I thought was interesting is like, I was like, why in the world would you need to wrap something? But they're saying basically like different blockchains can't talk to each other naturally. So if you need to use Bitcoin on Ethereum, you would wrap it. So that's like the logical reason why you would do it. But now they took advantage of it.
And that's why we know these tokens were used.
When
for
did wrapping
swaps.
come into existence, by the way?
I'm sorry?
When did wrapping come into existence, by the way? And I want to say it in a rap, like,
I don't know the date. Probably Bitcoin was it.
It's like a new technology that now they're using.
It came out when Bitcoin was still new, and all the 4chan guys were like hyping it at $100. Like it just was like during that era when blockchain was being explored, and now it's being improved. That's where we see like XRP come in, because that blockchain is like a higher security and more effective. So it's just more threat to Bitcoin, in my opinion. And then, of course, it's been on the back burner with
it's like ways it can be kind of misused.
Yeah, now that the Bitcoin's been regulated, and
that's the whole point, is that Bitcoin's not supposed to be able to be manipulated with, but with wrapping, it can be.
Yeah, because if they tokenize it, it's not a stock now, and they can just claim benefit of the doubt or whatever,
right?
And fines for crimes to just get out of whatever until whenever. So like. That's why, like, they found synthetic wrap tokens of AMC, and then that specifically means they could use them for swaps, arbitrage, like put them in any baskets, like whatever they had to do on it, whatever blockchain they're trying to run in the background. They needed these like fungible tokens for like multiple levels of black market, and it's all stuff that was like under the books that shouldn't have even existed. Like we found these when FTX kind of like cracked open on like customer withdrawals. So it was like a bank run on FTX, and it just like exposed this. And if they printed that many wrap tokens, they found 8 quadrillion. And if there's a 500 million float of
AMC, if you have a need for 8 quadrillion, then maybe you've oversold by 8 quadrillion.
No, if you divide that out, yes, it would mean that AMC shares are fake to a ratio of 16,000 to 1. But they didn't implement 8 quadrillion wrapped tokens, but they were like approved, like AMC's approved shares they can sell. But these were like ready to go. So like the tokenization market wasn't ready yet. It's still being ready. That's what like this whole CBDC type like infrastructure banks have been working on and like under the wraps about it for like a long time. It's because they want to implement tokenization instead of stock certificates. They want it to be tokens, like however different. It's the same thing, different thing, but like it's the retethering of whatever this is going to be to the not US dollar, but to the new one they're going to make, whatever it is, whether it's a digital coin or USD 2.0 or dog fart bill, like whatever it is. Like, this is going to be the mechanism that they're going to tether assets to per real ownership. So like when this happens, the direct registered shares are going to get tokenized first, and then that's pretty much the whole float. And then so all these brokerages are not going to be able to tokenize assets, and it is going to be a shit show. And we can move forward. We talk about more of the AMC tokens in on some FTX details that I pull up later.
Okay.
We kind of covered gold arbitrage and Berkshire Hathaway a little bit, but I just wanted to show you these graphs because the same move happened in both of these at the same time. Like they both collapsed to zero and then got restabilized after the market halted for 3 hours. And while Berkshire is a holding company, oh, sorry, my cat's trying to get in my feed here, my kitty. It's another case of these companies have nothing to do with each other, except one is like in ownership. But say someone messed up Berkshire Hathaway's collateral and they have to reposition. And then since Berkshire Hathaway has to reposition, gold completely collapses. It's like, okay, well, what's propping up what in this scenario? Like, you know what I mean? It's like a whole conflict of interest thing that is going on here. And we can move forward. It just, I wanted to like iterate that image as far as like some other things going on. Okay, so this is AMC before the squeeze of 2021 or whatever. And you can see the green bars is when it was on the reg show threshold list. You see how it swapped on and off a few times?
Yeah.
The first 3 bars. And then
that's the thing, is they were already shorting it before COVID, and then COVID.
There's 3 bars there, and then look below and you see the volume explode. And then the stock price exploded, and then it reappeared as one more green bar after that or whatever. But they were like swapping it on and off the reg show list as they hit qualifications, and they were like condensing and swapping into baskets at this point, and to get it off the threshold list. And then that's why like they couldn't hide certain numbers, like the short interest glitch right there on the right, 4,000% short interest. Well, that implies 40 shares were printed for every share. So if I'm talking about there's 3 times more shares than exist, and this shows there's 40 times more shares than exist, and then FTX tokens imply that,
and that's just as of 2021,
quadrillion time more shares than exist. Like, there's probably more shares than should exist.
This is insane.
Yeah. And then so we had the PE ratio at negative infinity because the numbers don't go higher than that. And beta was like going negative on and off during that whole time. And then that goes back a lot in my original thesis. It's part of the market forces at play. So beta is a stock's resistance to move with the broader market. So if it's negative, it means if the S&P crashes, that one's going up. And so it shows an inverse.
Then AMC should be like negative 99.99 million%.
And both AMC and GameStop were seeing large negative beta numbers, but they'll just flash on and off as like statistics went haywire all around that days.
Oh, but in the meantime,
it's not beta in that screenshot, but it was beta like a whole bunch of times during like those months. And like, that's a lesserly strong statistic, because if it's negative, like, and it goes against the market, that could just be temporary. It might be like, because of a company's earnings, it's been negative for one day or whatever. But like, generally 4,000% short interest is unheard of. GameStop reported 140% short interest when it went from $200 to $500 in 2021. Only 140%.
What?
And this shows 4,000%.
What the heck? Even 101% should be raising alarms.
That's what I'm saying. And 20% is considered high. So then like, you look at, okay, well, if 140% move GameStop that high and AMC showed 4,000%, probably GameStop had 4,000% too. And if it would have realized that, that's probably what the share price would have actually hit, and why nobody sold, because we all saw that. It's like, we're all like, whoa.
Yeah.
This thing just went from $200 to $500 and it only squeezed 2% of what we just calculated it's going to do. And here we are, like, trade it sideways later with it still on the table. Because
what the heck?
Oh, there's a lot of upside. This company has a lot of upside on the table.
Wow.
So does AMC.
So much of this is like hidden in plain sight, and it's like made overly complicated. And but I mean, at least we're learning it freaking half a decade later. And
I'm glad I screenshotted that, because like, I'm sure you could not go find that on the internet elsewhere. Like, it's just not going to exist. It's been scrubbed, or like,
wow,
screenshotted these things. So like, it's gone in the wind. The glitch never happened. You're a lunatic.
Wow, I want to barf. I'm like, makes me angry. But I'm glad we at least have it here.
Okay, we can move forward a little bit. I'm trying to just
next one. Okay, cool. Yeah, probably we have like 10 more minutes, and then I got to get going.
Gotcha. We'll get as far as we can. No problem. This is that graph I was talking about with politics, where the economy just goes up, whether it's right or left. We're talking about Trump being a potential outlier to this or not. But that's the visual. We discussed it earlier. And
well, I'm like, is this why they named it the Hoover Dam? Because like his went down.
I hear you. No, that actually, so that project probably was like the resolution of whatever stock market swap had to happen there. So they're like, oh, we need it today. It's, oh, we need swaps. We're going to bomb Iran. Then it was, we need swaps. We need a giant construction project that costs a lot. And it's the biggest thing the world's ever seen. So they're happy about it. It's like the stats.
Right. But
Like-
really quick though, I feel like that's actually something interesting I hadn't thought about is like Trump really does care about his name and his reputation. And so in some ways, if he does finally like let the market correct, it's like a relief for the future and, you know, kicking off MOASS and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, this chart would show like Trump failed or whatever. You know what I mean?
It would be written off as a like socio-geopolitical failure of grand proportions, while it's really the best thing that happened for humanity. Yes. And he would go down as Hitler, but that's what I'm saying. Hitler is probably like, yes, the Holocaust bad, but probably it wasn't just like Hitler. It was like, Hitler was like a guy doing his job and then they wrote it all off on him to like make it look a certain way. Like, you know what I mean? It was like a whole network of Holocaust thing happening. It was not just like one crazy guy, if that makes sense. So it's like, and then the narrative's been rewritten a certain way.
Yeah, kind of. I guess like, I mean, I guess, yeah, a bunch of banks crashing is going to sound like horrible, but at the same time, it's like, well, look at what's been going on. Look at this freaking chart. Look at this. You know what I mean? It's like, well, look at this. Like, this
you can
is really
retrace like
horrible.
other corrections that have happened and
Look
like
at this chart.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, yeah. Oh, okay. This is something I want to be like turn into one chart, and I would really love like if maybe we have more data, and maybe you could even give me the simple data, and then I can make a chart with it. But I would love to look and see like how is their money going month by month or like quarter by quarter of like how much are they spending, how much are they earning, what is the debt looking like, all this. Like, is this kind of all of that, but between a bunch of charts? Because
okay, wait. Yeah, I want to answer this.
Or you want to go back?
Yes, go back here real quick. I don't know if you can zoom in on the bottom part of that with the Bitcoin.
Not really. I can't. No, I can't zoom in on this PowerPoint.
Okay.
Maybe if
it shows
here.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, so you can see circulating supply 19 million, right? There are only 21 million Bitcoin. There's only 21 million of them. That's how many were written onto the blockchain, and that number will not change. Look at the volume.
Oh, I think you froze.
Oh, did I freeze? No.
Oh no, you're back. You're back.
There's only 20.
Or you were pausing, or you had a dramatic pause.
Only 21 million Bitcoin exist.
Right.
How is the volume 65 billion in one day? Like, you see what I'm...
One day? You're right.
24-hour volume. This is what happens in dark pools.
We need an analogy for this. Like, it's like restaurants could only serve like 100 customers a day, and yet it's showing they served 650.
Right. It's like a person ordering 650 burritos and then eating or...
But the chef's only cooked 100 or something.
He's like, he eats one, pays for one, and takes 649 to go. And then there's never a claim of missing burritos.
What is all of this?
Like,
it's like I literally feel like we're not living in a real world right now. Like, how's all this going on? How has this all been going on forever?
That's before Bitcoin was sanctioned by the SEC. Like, look at the price. It was like when it ran up to 100K. Before it ran up to 100K. So that's what I'm saying. Anyone who's going to get rich on Bitcoin, they already did. They're just pumping up what they already criminally did in the background. Like, people like us aren't just like, oh, let me buy Bitcoin at 100K. With 100 grand, I could buy so many GameStop shares. Like, are you serious? Bitcoin. But we can move forward. I just wanted to.
Oh yeah, this is the kind of stuff that I'm so curious about. Is like, how are they doing like quarter by quarter? And this is something stock retail usually does a good job of.
So in my other one, I showed that red chart in the original thesis we talked about last video. The red chart where it showed COVID kind of cut into AMC's revenues and recover in the red bars.
Yeah.
This is the same graph. It's just, it dates farther back. And so you can see leading up to the COVID.
Wait, this one?
No, that the actual post, not the.
Oh,
image.
yeah. I don't know.
And,
Okay, keep going. Keep going.
So you can see the where it got the big V out of it on the top on the right side. That's during COVID when it like lost all its revenues, and then where it recovered.
Right.
And then you can see like year-over-year growth under it, where it shows like massive growth because we're coming out of a recovery from AMC's time of being receded during the whatever you would call the recession since COVID. So then the other image here, hold on, let me pull it up on my PowerPoint just so it's a little bigger. It's just really small for me to try and.
This one?
No, the other one above it.
Okay, let me zoom in.
Oh, okay, yes. So this is. Oh, wait. Go back to the other one here. You see how the bars for these, this is like debt. These are the
Okay, yeah.
You see how they just fit in to the big V divot of the COVID? So it's like this company had no debt.
Right.
And then COVID just made him get all that. All a COVID problem. This company doesn't have any issues. It just the fear against the company is like, oh, they're gonna.
But
fail.
they had started shorting it years before, a few years before.
That's the graph below it, even more below it.
I don't know. Here?
Yeah. It's showing like trends on the company like prior. So like this company had growth in 2016 where this company was profitable. It's proof of profitability in the past. So now if you go look where the PE ratio changes, I have an image of that. Not on this screen anymore. It's on the next slide or 2 slides forward. Yes, this one. So that's where the initial shorts went against the company because you can see the PE ratio change here. And so that's PE ratio is like their short-term earnings, and all their earnings disappeared because the massive short leverage began here. And so like this is when what happened in 2021, the legacy swaps that were capitulating that year started here. We're looking at 4-year swaps or so because this was in 2017 when the PE ratio just it changed. It like went flat. So the same thing happened with GameStop. And now you can go back up to the other slide that I had right before this one. No, back through. Yeah, that one. So we're talking about PE ratios and see GameStop flashed a 1600 PE ratio just that one day. It's like this kind of stuff just flashes one day and then, but like, it's just a representation of the short-term games. And you can see the company just went up 11% that day, which is like a lot of gains on like for a normal stock. So like it like forces a lot of the other statistics to move. And so you can, on the right here, see in 2018 on the 3 different graphs of information on the right here, the bottom one, it spikes first in 2018. That's the PE ratio change, just like an AMC. And then you can look at the one in the middle where it shows their earnings per. Yeah, and then it's all negative after that swap. You see what I mean? Like GameStop has positive earnings, and then after that bump in 2018, it just gets all negative.
Dang.
And then the stock price up top, see, it was negative for a long time and it broke.
Yeah.
And so the data cuts off there, but I think we're looking at like the same setup again because the shorts never closed. Now they don't even have negatives earnings per session anymore. So now this is where legacy shorts are just locked in. Because like if there was no covering and the market had to inflate this much worse to maintain, and then this data still exists of like how we got here. This is where we are. So like we're definitely looking at GameStop still exploding again. I think we're almost done with this PowerPoint.
Well, I actually have to get going. So we can pick up with what's left of it next time. And if anyone has any questions, they can throw them in, and then we could probably get back into. Actually, probably will rewatch this and go back into everything I didn't understand and see if we can break it down even further. What do you think about that?
That sounds cool. Yeah, next I was gonna hit like arbitrage in the consumer space, like sports, music, like costs. Has some examples of some important stuff.
Right.
There's some benchmarks that Apple and NVIDIA are setting that kind of like relate to the whole market that we can cover. And then there's that screenshot of Robinhood getting 100,000 one-star reviews, and then they come and undo it. So Robinhood's just like a 5-star rated company again, even though they can just like go buy the reviews undone. Like it doesn't make any sense. Why allow a public reviewing platform if you just remove all the bad reviews?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So they're allowed to
It doesn't make sense.
be the heroes until like what? That's why Luigi said in a precedent, because well, that's not right. That healthcare CEO would never have faced his crimes. So it's like, what do you do about that? And then so like that's just the kind of violent byproducts that come out of this. And it's always the good guys get cornered until they react to this. And then that's why like if this is the biggest thing that ever going to happen, we're probably going to get a big reaction of violence somewhere soon. And not that that's the answer, but that's what's going to cause change. And until, and I'm not pro-violence, but I'm just been making a joke like, oh yeah, the world's going to change when we drop another nuke, because like that's when the financial things can go off the hook, because they can just blame the nuke and probably like a lot of people die. So like it actually will like affect a lot of things. So like the logic will be there now.
Like how they were blaming everything on Ape and saying like, oh, Ape is the reason for blah, blah, blah. They need some other reason to blame all of this kicking off and like the Black Swan event or something.
But that was all in the name of like these companies are going to declare bankruptcy. And then now they've shouted about like 10 excuses. Like that's it.
I'm just like, how do they not think that these companies were going to survive? Of course they're surviving. Like all of us are freaking fighting for it like nonstop. It's with everything we have and the truth behind us.
Yeah, and then I had a bunch of other links like we could go through.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it next time. We'll get into it next time. Maybe even
cool. I think if
probably
we get up right now, we'll hit under the 3-hour mark. So that'll be good.
And then hopefully soon I'll bring on, like I said, the very first whistleblower of MMTLP randomly became my friend on LinkedIn. And
cool.
Doesn't even believe in MOASS very much anymore. I was like, what the heck? He was like, you still believe in MOASS? I'm like, of course. So
it makes sense why you would get disenfranchised. And then just the main point on the MMTLP, that was complete fraud, and it still is. But then since it's the type of thing they can still bury, because if they own the courts and then it's right, they own the senator.
And then the freaking YouTuber that was always talking about it ended up being shady. So it's like, give me a break.
And it's just
I don't want to get. I almost met him too once because we live near each other, kind of. But
GameStop and AMC are different just because they have like so many people behind him. It can't go quietly. MMTLP was small enough that they can like pay for that to go away by like threatening people and like hiding it and like, running fake stories and. But like they can't do that with GameStop. Like they already.
Dang. Oh, okay. So on our way out, I'll play some of my songs. But I really like my GameStop. I have an amazing GameStop song I wrote. I'll have to put it on the next one. But
MMTLP, back to tie it to the very beginning.
I heard an MMTLP song. Yeah.
What's going on in the court there? And while like GameStop's not directly pushing for litigation through courts, and while like retail's been doing a lot of that, these cases help too. A lot of the MMTLP stuff will like appear in a GameStop forum and then get banned for not being GameStop, which is bad moderation in my opinion, because it is related.
Yeah.
MMTLP setting precedents, because if the court say, oh, MMTLP, you're not gay enough to receive funding, for example, just as like, but then GameStop goes and followed the same thing, they can expect to not receive money if they're not gay enough, just to follow a precedent. Like, you know what I mean? And
Well,
so
Ryan Cohen was a female for a while, so
okay, right. And it's like, and I say gay enough, no offense to anyone gay. I have gay friends and stuff, and it's about the narrative. That
yeah. By the way, I'm like, I think next time we do it, we should do like the screen share for a while and then go into discussion a little bit and then screen share a while, because it's fun to just like chat about stuff too. I feel like I've been sitting in a lecture, you know what I mean? But that's like, I realize like school is so boring compared to learning all this stuff. And like in a good way.
This in school, it's part of the like narrative.
Of course they don't teach us.
Like, they'll teach economics, like supply and demand fundamentals, and then when you lose money to their scalping, they're like, you just suck. And then like, it's actually rigged though, so like, you don't just suck, it's like, no, they're playing you.
Yeah. And they make it boring on purpose.
Yeah, and then that's why it's wild that these banks that are 300 times over leverage and giving you the middle finger get to give you a credit score, and then your credit score subject you to just have to deal with them. Like, they own society, dude. Like, it's so bad. And whenever religion in the past owned everything, they stepped on everybody. And when governments did, they step on everybody. It's no different what banks do. And so we got the scale of class hierarchy now skewed for banks, and they're afraid of losing it. That's why GameStop and AMC are like key here, because like, if they own the entire market and everything that happens in it, and all of a sudden retail gets one company in there and that company can just destroy everything inside of it, like, they don't like that, and they can't get it out. So they just know that they're a bunch of like babies stuck in a cage with a lion. They can't do anything because there's like a whole lion in the cage. Like, they can't.
I mean, not the best analogy in this day and age, but still, yes.
That's a good analogy, but they set that up for themselves. It's not like GameStop was like, let's just bully the banks. Like, no, GameStop just like, let's sell video games. And banks had a problem with that. So now it's like, we're going to just stand up for video games.
Yeah.
So, and now we're the bad guy as far as the narrative is concerned, until farther notice, I guess, because like, now the narrative had to be uprooted too, since they want to play this game where they connect everything against video games. So it doesn't make sense.
It's easy to make fun of, you know, like gamers, but actually, these are people who are like geniuses, figuring out hacks, figuring out ways to win games, figuring out like strategies. It's like
that part
of the population, self-taught.
They wanted to take video games during COVID, so first timing, and then also, they really picked their market.
Movies, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Let me get going. I'm interviewing interns for my business right now, trying to work on my marketing.
Okay, cool. Well,
maybe next time I'll have like a commercial to play for my business. Right now, I'm really not a very good salesperson, so.
First sponsor.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that's it. I was gonna maybe show something else, but I'll save it for next time. Yeah, we'll improve it. My comic that I made that was cracking me up, because it just was cracking me up. I'll just show it really quick. But you said you want to change what it says, but this one was cracking me up so much. Wait. This one was cracking me up so much because I was like, okay, I was working with AI to break down a lot of your stuff. And then it was like, Deven figured this out 2 years ago. And I was like, holy crap. So then it made me think of everyone that always bullies me. And it's like, you know, bullies all of us. And like, you guys still think your squeeze is going to happen? And then it's like, yeah, I do. Yeah, I am. I'm still waiting. There's like, Deven. And then then I came up with this idea of you having all this DD and then all this DD and then making a mountain and then saying all this different stuff.
Okay.
See? It's like, I don't even know, but I'm like, just start talking. So anyway, I thought this is really funny, but we'll edit it so it says what you wanted to say. I don't know.
No, it's cute. Like, and it's like accurate, because like, I'm almost having to take on the role of like what that comic book, it represents, like a bully situation, but it's like that.
It is like that, and it's like I can figure out like there's vibes, there's stuff going on, there's like this, there's Ryan Cohen in the leather jacket, then now Ryan Peter, but it's like, and then you're like, no, let me go through the actual data, and it's like you are like those people. That's like all, and then we're like, see.
But then if those people are like becoming the main characters or whatever, it's like it makes sense like in a comic book form. But it's like just the AI about it, like so in one scene, like you just change shirts. Like you're wearing a different.
Oh yeah,
color.
okay, come on, I know. And then the bullies turned into the tech guys. So I mean, it's not perfect. But I didn't spend forever on it, but it's still really good.
Right.
Come
Yeah.
on.
The words or whatever, some of it is like weird or whatever. Like I looked up, there's not a stock called DUS, DUSS or whatever that it says in one.
Oh yeah, maybe it says something. Come on, it's near. The idea is there. The idea is there.
Like it says
We'll
like
fix
3
it.
sentences
We'll
I would say, and then it turns.
Oh, I
into
see. It
800
says that. We'll fix it. And then we'll
But,
sell it signed copies. Just kidding.
Right. No, it's
People
cool.
can download it. I don't want to make money off of that.
It's a cool like marketing idea, I guess, because I was just looking at it like, damn, this is like weirdly accurate. Like there's
Yeah, no, that's literally because I was thinking it. I was like, holy crap, I feel like Devin's like my big brother. Come on, basically I was thinking like, I was like, dude, Devin's like I was like, like you're like, my big brother's gonna beat you up. Like that's what I was thinking. Like when I started reading all this stuff, I'm like, holy crap, he's so smart. He knows all this stuff. And and it's like, Devin. And then he's like
we have a good history now. And actually we never met in person, just like we were working for that company that you're a partner in a while back.
Yeah, we met before then, and then you helped me out because I was like, dude, I need someone on here to make sure we don't take freaky partnerships.
Yeah, and then it just
and then we'll get back to it.
Environment and whatever has just like gotten bad and changed a lot lately. So it's like navigating all those things, like the people you meet along the way became the most important part of any of it because it's just I've done so many job applications that just went nowhere, and now it just like make less sense to keep doing it when I was saying I was a waiter and how it works well for me based on like what I know now, but like
I know I'm even thinking of going and being a waitress on the side. I'm like, well, maybe
think about how hard of the economy is.
So many jobs are paying nothing, but okay, I really do need to get going soon.
They really want to be an electrical engineer and they're good at it, but then there's no opportunity for them. That's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. I don't know. And I lived in China where I had like a million jobs and everyone
like,
hired me.
Rather than like art or music, because that's already been kind of like this. But now that like you can't even be a plumber and make money, so there's like, yeah, clean toilets for no money and you'll never have a house. And it's like that. It doesn't make sense now because now the plumbing's just not going to get done, and then that's going to lead to other problems. Which it just like.
We'll figure. Okay, everybody, if you're in the audience, please give us a like, a thumbs up, or a reshare if you enjoyed this and you want us to come back. But either way, we'll be back. We'll be back. And Devin and I will talk. Either we'll be back next week or who knows. I feel like at this rate, we'll be like, okay, tomorrow. But
yeah, we'll get together, see what's still important that we didn't cover and where to go. But good talking with you and understanding this together is like how we beat this. So
exactly. The more we can get everyone to understand these little things, and the more you can give tiny little elevator pitches and stuff. It's like the best.
Knowledge is power. Yeah, you've been making little clips and putting them up, and it's like each one clip could be its own thing. Like there's just too much topics.
There's too much. I know.
I made a YouTube video about all this stuff, and it was like 8 hours long, and everyone was like, "Wow, that's like that's too much." And
you're like,
now here we are trying to do it quicker, and it's their second 3-hour session, and we're not done. So like. It's so much stuff, so much interconnected stuff that you can't.
And that's what I'm saying. It's only going to get more exciting in the future as more of this comes out and things actually start going well. Right now, like I said, we're getting excited over like nothing lately, anyway.
It's because we know the risk of catalysts and stuff like in the balancing that's going on. So like that's why everything is exciting, because once you see it for what it is, you're like, oh my gosh, we're at like. There's so much opportunity on the table. If you
okay, I have a Zoom meeting in 5 minutes, but I want to leave the audience with a song or two. Okay, so everybody, it was so good to see you, and I know I'm kind of cocky. Okay, here we go. Here's my song about taxes, and we'll go one more after, and then I gotta go. Bye, Devin. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed.
I'm under attack from these numbers and stacks of paper on my back. Oh, back and forth. I'm waiting, of course, till the last minute to do my taxes, of course. Yeah, taxes you pay for each time you go to the store. Taxes you pay for each time you get paid or spend any more. That's for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, don't you see, everyone, you and me, we are all paying taxes. Most anything that you see. So what are taxes for? What are taxes for? When you are walking out the door, do you see what a tax is not like to pay tax, cause each year you must report and send money back, or get money back, yeah, it really depends. Did you overspend or underspend? Cause the government tracks how much money you get. If it's not enough, they'll send your money back. If you're getting too much, they want some more too. Yeah, there's so many things your money can do. And let me add one more piece of advice. Now I'll keep it vague and I'll keep it nice. There are many benefits, many codes. Lean into resources, take easier roads. Build up your business, invest in your strengths. Lean on resources, whatever it takes. You are powerful, your businesses are true. Let the world help you and you help it too. Tax, 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 tax. Don't be under attack. Keep up with your expenses and fill your tax. Oh, tax, 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 tax. Now it's time to relax, cause you're finally confident with filing taxes.
Meme, do you know what I mean? If I'm telling a joke, I might be using a meme and scene. Bum, 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 bum. Making a meme, it's easy as it seems, cause sometimes comments are better with the scene. Yeah, telling jokes, you've got the ropes, so step it up with the picture, you're the coach. Cause pictures are worth 100 words, they say. And saying things is not the only way to let the world know what you really and believe. Communicate with memes to achieve, cause people are awesome, the world is strong. We can be curious, kind all along, and jokes can brighten someone's day or shine some light on things that are so funny or that need some healing, right? So grab a pick and write a meme and make a joke today. Your voice, your heart, your intuition, words can guide the way. Okay.
Bye, everyone. Oh, this song's so amazing. You guys should listen to it. It's so good. This song's so good. We should listen to it. It's so good.
Fools can't stop till they're in trouble. Inflating, diluting, ashamed, outdated and playing. They're playing a crooked game, but that bubble, it must pop, 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 and your game stop. Let it don't build back on top as we boom our business to the top. Pop, pop.
Okay, there's a second part to the song, but I need to get going. It's so good. Look it up online. It's called like Boom Pop. What's it called? Boom Burst Pop. Ooh, that's a bubble. You guys should look it up on Kelly Tudor's YouTube. All right. Let me go to my meeting. Bye-bye. Thank you.